Welcome to Good Earners Reviewing the Sopranos. And here on Good Earners Reviewing the Sopranos, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. Spike, Rich, if you can quote the rules, then you can obey them.
Obey them.
Look at me. Don't just look at me. This is a podcast we're doing here. How y'all doing?
That was pretty good, right?
How about it?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That might have been the best one. That may have been the best one.
Now that
I
Tupac
don't know,
Young
man.
Thug with his
Columbus
Day, that Christopher.
That's the bar for me, man. Because Bo delivered it so seriously.
When they give us Young Thug, we say Tupac Shakur.
I think that was like the first or second cold open too, so I wouldn't be used to. I wasn't even expecting it.
I didn't know it was going. That was crazy.
Yeah, this one was good, man.
But before we get the Spike synopsis, we got a few supporters of ours that have been showing love, so we just want to highlight that quickly. Somebody, Jordan K, he says, "Oh, keep up the great content, please." So shouts out to Jordan K on YouTube. GS Money, baby, he's been tapping in with us a lot. I think he started later and went all the way back to the beginning, and he just talked about how Many Saints should have been a series, and Chase dropped the ball on that. Where's our man? Dean, I think he hit us, but he had I gotta find it in this email. Sorry.
My dog, Top Boy.
Yeah, straight up. That's bruv. That's our bruv.
Bruv.
That's
What up,
bruv.
Brett? What up, bruv?
What's up, bruv? He says,
on the road.
Boy, he says, "Hi all. Gotta mention a couple of three things. Thanks for the shout out. Much appreciated. Enjoyed the new episode of the podcast as always. Congrats on becoming a father, Mo. I'm sure you enjoyed the journey as much as I am. But another thing, I meant every episode of Good Earners podcast is certified made. Not every episode of Sopranos. Dean from North London. Man,
put that north on there too.
Yeah, it's the north side over here.
Put the north side.
Wanted to make sure we knew, man. Nah, that's a hell of a compliment. Appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Every episode of Good Earners is made is amazing. That is,
I love it.
And then lastly, we got a recent review, and I don't know how we feel about this, so let's just. So we're gonna get into the show, but we got a recent review on. Actually, a couple of them. One of them we didn't mention, but one of them just said banger after banger, great, witty, and in-depth views every episode. The commentary never gets old. So that was from Sexual Teen in January. And then this other one from Stevie Ray Hendricks. He says, Va Pangul. I avoided this podcast at first because they claim to talk about money and finance, but they don't. But they do have a unique perspective and are funny guys, and it's a great podcast. I learned Swahili just so I can understand what they say, and it was worth it. They do call Livia Soprano Lydia for the first few episodes. Shouts out to Spike Lee. But she deserves to be disrespected as she's a mezza morta. So I don't know.
Only thing he left out was Moolies. I listened to these
I was
movies.
waiting on it.
Yeah, I think maybe he black. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, they seem like so Italian.
I appreciate that comment because he get the tone of the show.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking.
So I like that comment.
If you clever enough to, you can't even get mad. It's like, all right, you've listened. You actually listen to us.
Yeah. That's why
we mentioned plenty of times how healthy the racism is.
How healthy the racism is in the show. Yes.
It's wild, but at least it's well written.
Yes. And I was trying to think about, I was like, what does he mean? He thought there was like a show talking about like Sopranos money. Then I realized, nigga, it's in the title, Good Earners. Like, he's thinking we're literally like, because there's a lot of different podcasts.
And that's what you say. You say finessing finance and feelings.
Right.
Yeah, you say it in the beginning of the week. So
I thought that part, but I was like, well, it's like four things, but I thought about the name.
What do you want us to break down? Like, I don't understand.
Well, he probably upset. He probably upset about Mo's finance and his vision on it because he still thinks that Carmela didn't steal that $40,000. So that's probably why he's upset. You know, obviously Mo's view of finances is slanted.
Oh, we always talk about the earners. We talk about Ralphie making a lot of money. You know
no, I think it's like kind of like that being the niche. Like There's Sopranos.
I think it was sarcasm. I think he's probably listening to this like these niggas taking this shit way too serious.
Way too serious.
It's just bullshit.
It's serious when we talk about business. But nonetheless, thank you to all of the listeners and those that I haven't mentioned. Shouts out to y'all. But Spike Lou, what episode are we reviewing tonight?
That's a trick question, Mo. You got me last week. This is season 4, episode 9. Whoever did this. All right, in this episode, man, Junior takes a spill, but it could be to his benefit. Ralph, he has a life-altering event that may have changed him as a person. There's an accident at the stables with Pyoma, and Tony suspects foul play. Tony and Ralph share some eggs together. Chris, drug problem is starting to bleed into his work. This is season 4, episode 9. Whoever did this.
He got it. Let's go.
Money, man. That shit was money. Let's go.
Smooth. Oh, man. That's funny.
That's how you start an episode.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about the Lydia thing. That was
you used to always correct me too.
That was.
I remember them days. That's before I was even on. I definitely remember them days listening.
Yeah, that was funny times, man. But we go to the first scene, man, where Junior's trial, and pretty much Junior walks out of the trial, and the guy that's with him said that he took half a chicken home, got 2 meals out of it. Just speaking to obviously, just talking to like the cheapness, the conversation, the people he's surrounded by. Junior notices that he's on the news and who the news lady was, and he immediately gets hit by a boom mic and falls down the stairs.
7 steps.
7, right? Exactly, 7 steps.
Wait, 5 steps.
Wait.
They're wild for this. Is there anything that y'all get from this, or y'all think this is just set up?
This is set up for some things that we'll experience in later seasons. Like with this having happened, of course, they're gonna make the play that they made from it, but you don't know at Junior's age if this really did affect him. Like there's a scene in this episode that we'll get to where you're like, well, was he bullshitting or was that for real? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of lingers throughout the rest of this series.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about you. I said Spike Lee getting his Uncle June on with the episode numbers.
I'm trying to see where you were going with that.
I was just playing.
You was right. It was 9 steps. Then she switched it to 7. Everything Spike said was right, real on point. Only couple minor notes I mentioned is I feel Uncle Junior. The first thing on his mind after he leaves court is now I missed the early bird special, because ain't nothing worse than missing some shit that you really had your mindset on.
Thinking about this shit
when
all
it comes
day.
to food. But thinking about this shit all day, man. Now I can't even get it, man. I'm sorry. And for some reason, it's just this humor with Uncle Junior. Like, he's not trying to be funny, but he's funny. Like, even when he's sitting on the couch looking miserable, he's just funny to me. So of course they use Uncle Junior to be the one to get hit by a boom mic. That I feel like that can only happen to Junior in this show.
Yeah,
only happen to
you know what I mean? Him or Artie might be the only two
Bobby.
that
maybe Bobby.
Nah, not even Bobby. It's not as funny with Bobby. Like, it's Junior. It's just
come back.
Yeah, it's just something about them, man. But that was just hilarious to me. And obviously we've seen him get caught up. He's in this damn trial with a witness that he's been like smooching up to all this time, flirting. As soon as you hear that Allison name, the reporter, he turn around with that smile on his face. Like, bruh, calm yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't help it.
Yeah,
relax, man. So yeah. But Spike said it's the real thing to take from this scene.
Yeah,
and it's a thing too. Like, has he been shot?
Yeah, that part. There we go.
And
that's what I was gonna say from a cinematic view. Like, if y'all notice how he walking out, they're doing this close up. Junior got the trench on. He's got the hat on. It's got that Godfather-esque mob classic look when he's coming down when they're on the close up. Then when he gets hit with the boom mic and they go to the wide shot and you see him falling down the stairs, it's like, this is Junior. Like, he never had the makings of a varsity athlete. And even catching on to the lady, it's the through line that Junior cares so much about his look because he's from the old school. So even that, like, this is going, he's put it together quickly. I'm going to be on this channel. They're going to see me. And, now, you get this embarrassing fall, this Looney Tune fall. But, man.
You got to be able to sue the news station for that.
Absolutely.
Got to be able to do that.
Hey, yeah, because he got hit with the boom mic.
Yeah,
he just tripped.
Yeah, you got to get that off.
I'm suing the shit out of y'all.
Absolutely. My neck and my back. Tony and Carm, they go to see Pio Mai. And I thought this was dope. It's good to see Carm out here with him,
being nosy.
But well, let me see what y'all think about it before I get more into why I thought it was a kind of an interesting scene. What did y'all think about this moment, Tony's, bringing her into his world, so to speak, and introducing her to Pio Mai?
This did absolutely nothing for me, so I let Rich have it.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. Only thing it did was made me very curious as to how they got there. From where we ended last episode to now, like, how did y'all get there? So that's the only thing I thought about, but maybe that's Tony trying to, I don't know, let me involve you a little bit more in my life. You know how it is, man. Tony fuck up, he'll get on the shit for a little bit.
It is so funny though. We never know how much time really passes between episodes.
That's a fact.
Like, we don't know if this was a couple months after or like a couple weeks. Like, we really never know how much time has passed between episodes. I think that's a real dope thing about this show.
It's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
And they keep it so visceral where it can be close or far, but they'll never put a storyline that's such a stretch. You'd be like, oh, whoa, when did you start? What
happened?
Yeah. When did you get pregnant and started showing? Like, we didn't even get the news you were, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they definitely are really slick about it. But why I find it,
this could have been a week later or a month later.
You're right.
No idea.
I'll say though, what I find it interesting is I like the idea that sure we'll know Tony's diagnosis at the end of the series, but like in this moment, it's like this is something that is very personal for Tony. Like, he really let her into a Anthony moment, in my opinion. Like forget all of the fly lifestyle, forget the mob stuff, forget the Tony husband, mother of my children, all that. We know the play. But this is my personal interest. Like, when you with your girl and she know you podcast, or like, oh, she see you hoop, like, this is my thing. I want you to come check me out. This is my world. This is what I'm really into. If you want to peel back the layers of who I am. So I like that fact that, Tony really has passion for this horse. We'll know, like I said, later on, but still, I thought this was just a adorable and kind of an interesting thing here. I don't think it fixed anything in their marriage. I just liked it, I guess.
You invited a chick to watch you hoop before?
Oh yeah.
You is wild, bro.
That's hilarious, man. I swear on everything. I thought in my head, I wasn't gonna ask you, Mo, directly, but in my head, when you said that, no.
These dudes is aliens.
No, man. No, I'm telling you, man.
Oh my gosh.
That's just a funny
I'm
thing.
Crazy. I'm crazy. Bringing a girl to watch me hoop.
That is.
I didn't bring her there, but it's like I'm gonna be there at the gym. If you there, boom, and then where you at? I'm hooping, like type, maybe something along.
She said, and she sit down and watch you.
Yeah, I've been watched. I
mean, but no, I'm talking about like for a game, like, or is it just like I peek my head in the court and I bet.
I've been watched. Bro. I mean, you ain't peep your head in. Man.
Oh, you was getting watched. Like, they sat down.
Watch, yeah. I'm saying a little chatter.
But hold on, I'm talking about real quick. How'd that make you feel? Did you feel like you needed to go a little bit harder, or did you just stay with your game?
Absolutely. And most times that's why I start playing worse.
Did you look up at all? Like, if you made a play, would you look up?
I try to kind of, you try to go a little extra harder on defense. You try to, that's when you get shook for real, because you trying to.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we can keep going, man. We keep going to the show, man. I'm sorry, because I had the same things. See, there's moments where I think we both thinking it, and either Spike will say it or I'll say it. We just rotate time.
That's how I'm like, I'm like, oh, of course.
You said your girl.
These guys and their moxie, like, of course. Like, I love y'all dudes, man. I gotta really get y'all handbook, man. Seriously, I need that Phil Leotardo, like the man's man. Legend, I need that man's man, like how to get there.
You more of a man's man than me. Cause
you are.
Get out of here. No,
it take a real man. No, it takes a real man to invite a chick to watch you hoop, bro. Like, you got to be really confident in yourself, bro.
I mean, I don't think I ever said
my basketball game ain't good enough to be like, hey man, I'm finna hoop up here. Come check us out. Like, nah.
But what you say, like, hey, come check me out podcasting?
Nope. When I get done, when I get podcasting, absolutely.
Yeah, you say, hey, why don't you come to the studio? I'm about to go podcast for a little bit.
The show? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Where your confidence lies, kind of like at that time, I was a very confident basketball player, so that's what it was. It's not so much that.
Okay.
Yeah. But
yeah, Mo, you redefine my definition of that nigga.
Okay, all right. See, look at him. Look at him, dude. All right, I'm gonna keep moving. When y'all start saying When y'all say nice
I'm still
things,
trying to get there. I'm still trying to get there.
Get me out of here. Let me go to the next thing. Y'all start saying nice stuff. I know it's a problem. But let me just get this out the way for our Soprano listeners, because if we don't say this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, how did you miss this?" I'm gonna point it out, but I'm not gonna do no deep dive on it and all that. But I'm gonna point it out. There's a goat in the scene, and a lot of people say that the goat symbolizes the devil, symbolizes evil, symbolizes, which we get that kind of tie-in with Ralphie throughout, where they say is Ralphie the devil. You'll get deep takes and reviews and YouTube and analysis on that. We're not gonna do that here with this whole goat concept, but we do see the goat here, and we'll see the goat after.
Yeah, we don't care.
So I'm not going to do that. Like we told y'all in season 1, this is not that type of podcast, but I do recognize it. I think symbolism is important in this show, but we're not going to do it for this episode because there's more interesting things that we'll bring to the table, I believe. But shouts out to all of the other Soprano podcasts, man.
Yeah, check them out after y'all finish us.
Yeah.
Look, see, boy.
I mean, after. I mean, like after we finish the whole series. Like keep listening to us
when there's nothing else, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I like this dude, man. Junior's in the hospital. I know, that's why I like it. Junior's in the hospital. We get his attorney and Bobby's in there. This is where I think where Spike was saying starts to go into effect. I throw the ball in your court, Spike. Let's just start there.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here with Junior? Like, I mean, obviously he got the hit, but we're starting to get to a little bit of that. He's slick like a fox,
or is he like, yeah. Yeah, again, I always speak to how well they play this. And we're questioning this throughout the rest of the series. Like this is not a thing where like he faking, or maybe this is real. Like you keep juggling those two thoughts. And I think this is a great way to introduce it. I think having this backstory to things that happen later in the series really make you wonder as a viewer, like, is he crazy, or like, was there something that happened that made him this way? And like I said, he keeps going down into that path. Is that what you were asking me?
Yeah. What say you, Rex?
Yeah, man, it's the same. I'm gonna be all the way real with you. As a viewer and as a fan of the show, I get it. I feel like Junior is one of those. There was so much more potential with that character. If you took him, if you kept him in his right frame of mind. You know what I mean? I don't know how much like more that is.
To Tony.
Yeah, I just think that his storyline, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with the storyline, but there's also this alternate universe where I would like to see where Junior just gets older and he's still a part of this thing of theirs, and he's, you know, he's still like, yeah, in a sense, but not the boss, because at some point this trial's going to end, right? And it makes sense for the show. Like I said, I'm not saying they did anything wrong with the storyline, but if this trial ended, he comes out on top. How's that power dynamic work? How does he work with Tony? Does he realize that, hey, I'm 72, like I ain't got it in me no more? I don't know. It's just something there. But we've gotten little small samples in earlier episodes, like just small moments of confusion. And it works beautifully because at 72, you forget shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things that happens. Wow. Whereas if you flip it on seasons 1 and 2, I remember listening to both of y'all talk about Livia. Or Lydia, shout out to homie that gave the review. Talking about Livia, and just the show did a great job of where you still 25 years later wondering, like, damn, was she did she have that plan? Was she? I don't know.
Bro.
It's always split like that. So this is the beginning stages, man. It's just what life is. And I love the fact that Junior could really be going through something life-changing, life-altering, you know? Tony's looking for the play. Oh, word? You say this could be that? Shit, he ain't milking it enough.
It's how
you know what I'm saying? Let's figure out how to make this in our favor. Everything is a play. Money, no money, all of this is a play. And Janice, of course, Janice was hilarious. Not hilarious, but just the way she was talking about this other Columbia Presbyterian that got the best head trauma unit. All that shit, man. The doctor just looking at it like, man, get the fuck out of here.
I like how the storyline did play out for Junior, because it's like what we say about this show all the time. Like, it's past the good times. Like Tony didn't come up in the time that Junior did. Okay. So we slowly get to see Junior, the representation literally of the old times deteriorate from the show. And we don't know if it's his mind, or we don't know if he's fucking joking or whatever it may be. But I do like how they played it, because it shows the slow deterioration of the old way and going into Tony's way.
And it's a good reminder, man. That's all. Like, that's part of getting older.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like, the only alternative to getting older is not being here. So. If you're gonna get older, man, you got to deal with this. Is real life. Sometimes you got to look that in the face and be like, all right, man, let me take care of myself, X, Y, and Z. Some things are preventable. You can't prevent, of course, but yeah.
It's one of those things where it's literally, it won't be cinematic.
Yes, it will not be cinematic. That's a fact.
Tony talks about multiple options of what he wants it to be like when he gets old, and that's why he stays with Carmela. We'll get more into all of that as time progresses, but like, when he gets old, does he want to be an Uncle Junior? Does he want to be a Paulie Walnuts? Because these things are inevitable. Rather you lose your memory or you don't, it's inevitable in this thing of theirs where you're going to end up, as Livia, what she say, when you're in your own arms. Like, so it's like dying in your own arms, what makes you so special. So it's like, if I want to die, I at least got to be attached to something, so it's just very interesting, man. And just this through line from season 3 is another toothpick, where there was that moment where it was like, Junior, you got them fooled, when father, what we call him, Big Bacala, Daddy Bacala, I don't remember, Bacala Senior, when he was like, you got them all fooled, and it makes you think, does he got everybody fooled this whole time, or has he played it so long now? It's so but yeah, and then Janice comes up, does what she does, which is the worst, and I can't stand when people do this. They don't know what you're talking about. They just jump in like they know something. Anyways,
I'm like, this nigga got our uncle under his care. You just shitting on him and the whole unit and everything. Like, bro, chill out.
You don't even have money to contribute to any bills here, bro.
That's probably the part that would upset me the most. You on mute, Mike? You on mute, Spike?
This happened on Succession when the dad. Well, I hope it's not a spoiler for people that are listening, but it happened on Succession. As far as when something happened, and then Kendall was like, well, let's get the best doctors. Make sure we have, like, nigga, shut up, nigga.
Right. They always doing
y'all niggas are estranged. Like, right. They don't like you. They were, man.
Yeah, vocabulary over here. Ralph and his crew. Ralph has figured it out, bro. He figured it out that it had to be Paulie. Well, figures out Paulie told Johnny that he figured out Paul, little Paulie told Big. I'm not about to say Big Paulie, but he told Paulie Walnuts that told Johnny about the joke. That's so funny. I kind of didn't remember this. I don't know about y'all. I kind of didn't remember Ralph figuring this out because everything around this episode, I kind of didn't remember him figuring this out.
Yeah, I remember this mainly before the phone call. Yeah,
because of the phone calls. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I guess I was remember the call, but I just, man. But man, so Ralph makes this phone call to Paulie's ma, and boy, this man is the Lion King, and I don't mean the Lion King. Like, bruh, this man's like going through it on section paragraph 5. Oh my gosh, like, bro.
Could you imagine someone calling your elderly mother and telling her this?
Said that he was.
Imagine?
Oh my gosh, blowing.
Joint cop.
Joint cop helped up his ass. Like, what,
bro? Up the rectal passage, the joint cop and a Boy Scout.
All the smoke Paulie had for him after this, I agree with.
Yeah,
like, nigga, you playing with my moms, bro?
Is this Peter Paul? Like, calling me by my government and everything.
He's still throwing shots at Jenny, man. That party was the only time I ever mentioned Shamu's fat ass. He was still throwing heat.
It's still up. Like, Johnny ain't around. It's still up, bro.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Absolutely.
I love it, man. But this was
what did he say that? Who we think that one episode? Who we think keep that fat bitch and devil dog?
bro,
that's the way he say that shit.
Because he just like, bro, I just don't care. Like he's like, it's not that big of a deal to me. Like,
I make.
He
money.
said it so
like,
nonchalantly.
This is the I make money attitude. Like I don't give a fuck about none of that, bro. I get bread.
Seriously, like, bro, Johnny Sack almost got clipped. I mean, both of them almost got clipped, but Johnny was acting on his own. Yeah. Ralph had the mob behind him. He almost got clipped because there's millions of dollars at stake here. In the words of Carmine, like let's just keep that in perspective. Like, so which speaks to later on, like the ramifications of all of that. So,
but do y'all think that Ralph was wrong for this phone call, knowing that he figured out what Paulie did?
Nope.
Is this or is this a lie?
I didn't. No? I thought this was fair. I was like, it's a joke. Like it wasn't really.
Ain't no joke though.
Yeah, I think you out of line. There's another way to do that. I'm not saying, listen, I'm never going to tell somebody to, y'all know what I've said it plenty of times, man. When you feel disrespected at the court, that's where you felt you need to take it. That's where you need to take it. But just don't be mad when Paulie take it where he needs to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always that cause and effect thing. Would I have done it? Hell no. I wouldn't have. I ain't gonna fuck with your people like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be able to sleep at night. It's got to be some real. I mean, it's got to be some real serious shit if I'm fucking with moms.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might as well, like me and you might as well get it on pause.
Yeah, so I feel like it's. I get it, like you said, Mo. I agree it is a joke, but don't play with me like that. I'm Paulie Walnuts, bro. Don't play with me like this, bro.
Yeah, moms, fuck with me.
Yeah. Like any smoke that you got, bring the smoke to me because I can handle it. Don't be calling my moms, bro.
Nah, don't be calling Johnny, bro.
See, hey, listen,
you over there yapping, yapping your gums in New York over there.
Like he deserved it. I will say that.
But that's just you say you feel like he should have took a different approach.
Yeah, like I just feel like Ralph.
100%.
What's a Ralph Cifaretto approach in this?
It's right up Ralph. Yeah, that's right up Ralph alley. Like you said, it was great for the show, but if we give him personal.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah,
and it's funny because it's like he's not threatening like I'm gonna kill your son, I'm gonna murder him. He's just saying like silly stuff, and he's like, I'm not sure. I gotta check. I'm not sure if the insurance covers sexual acts.
Up his ass.
And then it's just like I got a Red Cross, like bro. Oh man, that was just like the fact that she was so concerned. I'm sorry, it was so laughable. I mean, oh man, I'm sorry. It was really good.
But you of age where you know your mom can slick be tricked by that. That's the thing.
Yep.
Like I'm just thinking of how mad I would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like Paulie got all the right in the world to do everything that he do.
Yeah,
like, bro.
That's true.
Nigga said,
lucky I don't rattle you tonight.
That nigga said his name is Detective Mike Hunt. Nigga, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania Police Department, man.
That's what I said, bro.
Man, you playing?
The freestyle is crazy. Like that, I said, bro. He the Lion King for real. Like he just freestyled that so smooth. It's crazy, man. But
Pesci said this shit in the casino. I say it all the time, man. Nigga, I will leave you where I find you, nigga. As soon as I see you, bro, that's the last place. That's where you getting left there,
you, nigga. Yeah.
What's that other Pesci line where he was talking about like I'm ignorant? Like something.
Oh, that's a casino. Yeah, when you talking to the bank dude.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite. He said, "I'll do my time, and by the time I get out,"
he said, "Let me tell. I don't think you know who I am, like what I do."
Yeah,
man. He went in that house here. I'm gonna crack your fucking head open because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like jail is my business.
Yeah, Pesci, man, legend,
man. But yeah, Ralph getting his head not well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I got you. But yeah, I think that's about it. Transition.
Hey, y'all some suck ass niggas for laughing in the background, man. Y'all know that shit foul, bro. Somebody did that shit to y'all moms. Come on, at some point somebody got to step up. Hey, bro, chill, man.
Yes,
but the bars are so funny. Like they
funny.
They couldn't
funny.
Help
like
it's not. It was like bro, like just how they handled Tracy when she got murdered. Like last episode, it was like, do you ever think anything's weird about Ralph with women? And remember, Silvio was like, yeah, he beats women. What was the issue again? And like that's how afterthought it is to them in this world. Like even though I guess mother is a little closer, but.
And I guess it is different from our perspective because we actually see the cutaways to her in her bed, looking all confused and distraught. Yeah. Whereas they just hearing this nigga talk some shit on the phone. You don't see her reaction. You don't see the fact that she had to take Xanax for X amount of days to get over it. They're just hearing him, so I get it.
Yeah, it's a prank call.
Like, bro,
I said to him, like, it's a prank call. So yeah, you're right though. You're right. We wouldn't see, but it's like they look like it's a prank call. That's funny. Boy, I'm gonna miss that humor. We transition to
spoiler alert.
I mean, if you're here at this point, I hope you're not waiting on.
You already know what happened.
I was about to say, bro, that's really weird to get the real time what happened with us saying it instead of watching it. You go nuts
as you watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. Transition to Junior in the hospital. Junior has this moment where Tony asks him about. He said, "Guess who came by earlier?" Tommy Formicola, and Tony's looking at him like, "Huh? Who? He died a few years ago." And I guess he said, "What is that? His son?" Tommy.
He said, "Not him. The son. He got a junior."
Okay, but boy, what a slick right there. Like how they did that right there was so crisp. It was a throwaway and it was so crisp. I love that right there.
Yeah, they had to show that. Now I'm worried. Now this is anytime, and I'm sure this is like anything else. Anytime your parents, aunts, uncles get older, and doctors start telling you things, now it's on your radar. You're alert.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I know it could be that you said that, and my first thought is like, damn, you losing it. Then nigga died. Nah, bro, I know he died. I'm talking about his son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, give me some credit. So it's like, oh shit, okay. So we at that state with Uncle Junior.
This is a slick right here.
Yeah, they did a great job with it.
But this is what Tony tells him, like, hey, I don't think you're milking it enough. Like this is opportunity right here. You got hit with them boom mics, fell down 5 stairs. This is the time to kind of milk it. You know what I'm saying? And funny because Junior seems like he is enjoying his hospital visit because he looking at it like, bro, this free. Like I'm getting free Jello. I'm getting free, like, because that's his bottom line right now. Junior's just about saving a buck. So he said he is enjoying this little hospital moment, like free bed, free, So, but anything else y'all want to add to this scene right here? And what was his attorney? He had to fly out for something. I'm like, where did he go?
Said his daughter had to speak at like the Irish delegate or something like that, and she was speaking in front of somebody.
I do want to ask before we get to the next scene because it's about to start picking up. Which attorney do y'all like better? Y'all like Junior's attorney or Tony's attorney better?
Tony's attorney. Yeah, Junior's attorney looked like he robbed.
Like he more the ins and outs more. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He finding a way to build Junior. Tony's attorney, they play golf together and shit.
That's true.
He give him sound advice.
Yeah, he know better. I'm sorry, I didn't even get to respond to earlier. I just thought about it, but Rich, I agree with you. I didn't get to say about where Junior's storyline goes. I did a clip recently on season 1, and Junior was really about the business as far as like he wasn't gonna get physical himself, but he definitely would call the hit and like don't come heavy or don't come at all. Pause. But like for real, like he wasn't playing. He's like, you don't mean that, and he turned his back like think I'm playing. So I do wish in some capacity it would have got back there.
Yeah, so. It was, and like I said it already a couple times, man. It's perfect. Right, it's perfect. Mm-hmm. It's everything that happened was supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. It still works out great. It's just that human curiosity, that thing that we do, where it's like, I love to see this, man. Shit, I see it black, man. Let me see that shit in blue.
Yeah, they should have never gave us alternate endings in movies. That messed us up.
All right.
The kids are playing outside. The kids are playing with arrows.
Archery.
Yeah, we find out how to, because that was the first question. I said, how did these niggas get arrows? Like actual sharp, real arrows.
That's the part.
Yes, but we find out, and which was crazy, but we'll get there. Ralph is taking a bath, and I said that this obviously a tie into a later part. There's 2 scenes that tie into Ralph before and after. You know what I mean? Before and way before, almost like. So Ralph is taking a bath, which I think speaks to the child thing, that childish thing about Ralph. Not that there's anything wrong with that in the words of Jerry Seinfeld of taking a bath, but it's just so I don't want me to be like, oh, I can't take a bath because I'm a man. Like, no, you can take a bath, that's fine. But I just think that they're highlighting something with Ralph in this kind of childish manner. But Ralph's son was hit with the arrow. What did y'all get from this scene?
I think that they needed a way for us to question if Ralph could be a changed person. So this was the only route that it was to be able to get to. Is he telling the truth? Is he lying? In a later scene that we'll talk about more once we get there. But I think something dramatic had to happen for us to even question, like what you were saying earlier, Ralph being the devil. Like we had to see this side of him, and this is the only way that they could get to this side of him. Nothing else will make us feel sorry for him.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Chef kiss. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I don't even want to step on that. Yeah. Yep. But I mean, taking a bath and a bath don't go up like it's nuts, bro. I'm sorry. Like your bath water is not even. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Anyways, I harp on that. I'm that type of. I will harp on that. Like I don't get that. Like your bath water is this low. You're not clean. Ralph. Ralph and his son.
I'm not even going.
I'm not. There's a lot of things I can say right now that I'm not going to say.
I'm not even yet. Exactly. You know what? You got that.
Ralph and his son. They're at the hospital, and Tony and Carmela come visit. We see Vito already there.
Sitting way too close to Ralph, but it's cool.
He kind of is. He's consoling them. He's consoling them.
He got his hand on his thigh.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I think he got his hand on Ralph's thigh, bro.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Tell me, bro.
Nah, it's on his thigh.
Nah, it's on his shoulder, bro. Take it easy. Take it easy.
No, Ralph.
I thought he had his hand on Ralph.
No, he's talking about Vito's hand. The way Vito's hands are placed, it looks like it, but
but it was on the shoulder.
Vito's hands are on stuff here, man.
That's funny, bro. We try to make facts work so bad.
Man, they doing that. That ain't us. It's them. They doing that, man.
We try to make the connection so strong right there.
Hey man, I get it. Listen, they get a pass because he just lost, but I mean, all right, man, let's keep going.
All right. But I wanted to ask y'all, what is this energy Tony's getting off? Like, it's a weird energy where it's just like, he just like comes in kind of high strung, a little aggressive, like Ralph. Like I'm like, bro.
Because I don't fuck with you, bruh. I don't fuck with you. Like your tragedy don't change the fact that I don't fuck with you. I'm here because I have to be here.
Yeah, and he know Ralph a piece of shit. Like you looking at this dude, like you measuring this dude up, like you finna do something to him over an accident. Like relax, bro. Like don't bring all this heat.
No, it's before he got to that point. He ain't
just
got
like
there yet.
He just like the same way, Mo. How you mentioned Sil was trying to recall, what he did to what was her name, Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
Tony probably never forgot. Something bad happened to Ralph. Tony, the type that's gonna look like, oh shit, that shit was coming. He got a million of these things stacked up against him. I'm showing up because I'm the boss, and it's gonna look bad if I don't. I'm doing protocol. This is what we do. Yeah. But I'm not. There's no real sympathy or no real feelings because I don't really give a fuck about you, bro.
I guess I get that, but it's like they had been at a place where we know they don't rock with each other, but they had an understanding. I mean, I just did the HUD scam, so it's like I know we ain't buddies, we're not friends. I'm not coming to your Sunday Soprano dinners no more. But it's like we really ain't got no problem other than you don't like me because of how I am. But we're cordial enough for a business play. You're coming here, but you coming in like he didn't give you your envelope this month. It just I don't know. It feels like when he hems him up. When he hems him up, it makes sense. But
I feel like he more so like, man, you're an irresponsible dipshit.
Oh, like, so you feel like, he's like victim blaming almost, kind of like you
fucked your girl up, whatever at the Bing, like you like to like it's always some shit.
How did you let this happen?
Yeah, it's like I think that's the attitude that he came in with, and rightfully so. Okay. Like nigga hit you up and be like, oh man, my kid got shot in the chest with an arrow. You can be like, what?
And it's at the crib. About? What you mean it's at the crib? That's some shit like
talking about.
So then you think that this, because we know his diagnosis later, but like so. The later scene, I don't know. I still Tony with animals. I wonder, do kids tie into that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, like so then so the Pyomite thing is a progression of this moment. Then you think, like, is it an addition or is like it's separate by itself?
I mean, I think it's just a culmination of there's a laundry list for Ralph, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's just one of those, sometimes it's not the act itself, it's just how you go about it, man. It's how you handle it. It's the fact that You were supposed to take him to the archery range. Like you were supposed to. That's what you were supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And you up here taking a bath, doing whatever. Like, bro, like you just never do what you say you're gonna do to certain degrees. When it comes to the real shit, you're a hell of an earner. Like you're great at the thing of ours. When it comes to the real things, the things that I'm gonna respect you for as a man, you know, if I'm Tony Soprano, like you're awful at that shit, and you're not enjoyable to be around. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
I mean, he did kill his pregnant
Guma. Yeah, you passed the buck. You passed the buck. You never want to take accountability. And that goes back to what Spike said, man. You have to do something that shows. I think it was Spike. If it was you, Mo, my bad. But you have to do something that kind of shows Ralph becomes somebody different. Or at least attempt to, or at least look at things differently.
Yeah, she said the ex-wife of Ralph, which is very, it's just interesting information that comes here on this episode when it's like, oh, that's interesting, and it's like, too late. Just the fact that he was actually married before, and then like she's obviously moved on, but it's interesting. She says that the son would have a hard time sleeping the night before, knowing he's coming over his dad's house.
Yeah. Ralph ain't shit, bro. Look how many people at the hospital. It's barely anybody. If that was AJ, bro, the whole family would have been over there. If that was one of Seal's kids, everybody would have been over. Like that says a lot about Ralph that your son got shot with an arrow, and the only people showing up is Vito, you know, whoever else is in your crew, and Tony.
I mean, can the
Seal probably answer the phone like, man,
for the body?
I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. That's a whole nother thing.
That's why I was like,
Seal probably answered the phone like that. Ain't even enough for me to get out of bed. Who? Right. Ralph? I'll call and check in. I'll call and check in on the morning, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're right. It puts it in perspective. But Tony hems him up. You know, he gets into it with her husband after he calls her. See you on next Tuesday. Tony, but I will say Ralph was working that dude before Tony grabbed him. You see how Ralph grabbed it? He kind of got a good. I don't know if y'all looked. I was like, yo, okay, it's probably the best. I mean, we don't see Ralph scrap really, but that's probably was the best. Like I was like, oh, Ralph was about to work, dude, for real. But of course, Tony hems him up and he gets him in the choke, which is a foreshadowing. So the tub in the choke, foreshadowing for the episode. Pause, I guess.
I was wondering. I was questioning it. I was gonna let it slide, but it crossed my mind. I
think the choke is probably kind of
the choke and the tub combined is a little. Yeah,
that's how like we'll let it slide. It's, you know, first and 10.
That's nuts.
Junior and Tony.
Oh man.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Junior and Tony and the attorney, they tell him to play up the injury so he can get a mistrial pretty much. Is there anything else y'all wanted to add to that?
Nah. Just a continuous storyline of, like we said, what Junior really got going on. Do we know or do we not?
Okay. So Rosalie comes and visits Ralph, and he's having a vulnerable moment. At this moment, he's just like, I was insensitive. I didn't know. I just didn't know. And she's like, I guess you really don't know until it happens to you. How much of this is I told you so, or like, yeah, nigga? Like, was that the sentiment at all, or was it really like?
Nah, it's 100% just care. Consideration.
Genuine chick. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that was genuine.
She can hold it down
because
okay.
I'll tell you this. That's that's probably a unique tragedy. Not unique that it doesn't happen a lot, but we all know, you know, everybody knows the saying, man, a parent's not supposed to bury their child. So I'm sure when that happens, just like anybody else, anybody, you know, you've lost a brother or a sibling, a parent or something. If you've seen somebody go through that, your heart breaks for them because you know how that feels.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's got to be a certain level of. Rosalie's never showed that she's that vindictive to feel like that. I think it was genuine. Like, damn, that's fucked up. Let me go check on him because I know how he's feeling. Even though my fault, Justin ain't dead. We keep talking like he passed, but tragedy happened.
I mean, he is gonna be a vegetable.
Did you think that it was what you say?
I said he is gonna be a vegetable, but
did you? I'm not touching that, man. Did you think that it was like spiteful, or it was like just kind of like showing him up?
the thing is, I think in this whole episode, there's the theme of, they know, but they don't know. And everything about this episode, nothing is for sure.
Yeah, whoever did
nothing
this.
in this. Yeah, whoever, nothing. Like, is Rosalie being one way or another? Is Junior really losing or is he not? Did Ralph really do that or did he not? Did Tony really do it for this reason or was it for some? This whole episode is like a confusing episode. So it's like her coming up to him because it was just like, I don't know. She's like, you were so strong. I just didn't understand. And like, I just thought the choice of words made me confused. It's like, I guess you never really know until it happens.
With I was stupid, I was sorry, that type of stuff?
No, I'm talking about from her just saying like, I guess you really don't know until it happens to you. It was just like a weird, I don't know.
No, she's talking to references the way, nigga, you broke up with me right after my son died. Like Ralph is confessing to her, like, I'm sorry. I had no idea what you was going through. Something happened to your son, and now it's hitting me because I feel it. And here you are. You got enough in you, even after the way I treated you. You got enough in me to come see me and check on me. You know what I mean? And that's her saying, like, listen, until you go through it, you don't know. I understand that you're upset, or not upset, but I understand that you are compassionate and sorry now because now you've experienced it. She's pretty much telling, don't blame yourself for not being there for me because you didn't know what this was like. And now that you know, I can see your compassion. I can see everything, which is also still tricky. Maya Angelou said it, man. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them the first time. Like, this is an event that's going to change Ralph as far as his perspective, but Ralph is still Ralph. So Rosalie got to keep her presence of mind as we see throughout the rest of this episode. Sometimes some of that shit Ralph is saying, that ain't really Ralph. That's this moment speaking for him. Like, this nigga's still the person I was with doing, for X amount of time. It's going to get back to that. Once he passes through this, once this is no longer at the top of his emotional chart, he's going to go back to being that same person I knew.
Yeah.
So that's just an interesting concept with it as well.
That's true. We immediately go over to Rosalie and Carmela. Excuse me, Rosalie. She pretty much immediately says, "Yeah, the kid ain't got a chance, man. Like, he gonna be a vegetable."
Right after telling Ralph he gonna be all right. See, that's how it is.
Again, that's why everything again. It's the whole episode is a confusing episode, which is hard to write. I can't imagine writing this, and then even harder to pull off on the acting aspect. But they looking at Artie, and who is this lady over here?
What do you mean?
The hostess, man, new hostess.
Oh, it's a new hostess. Okay,
that's the same chick. That's the same chick.
That's what I thought at first.
That's not the chick whose brother stole his money.
Ain't no way she'd still be there.
That's why I was like, dog.
Oh, okay. Damn, I always thought that was the same chick.
Me too.
Nah, Artie would have been wild. I would have been. Hey, listen, I would have whooped Artie ass if that was the case.
I never realized that was a different girl.
Yeah, that's me
neither. Like, until I look, I was like, that ain't even. But they're talking, and then this is so funny because we talked about last episode where they Carmela's so fake.
Carmela wave is disgusting.
I mean, they all fake. Everybody. Oh my gosh, bro. She says it. Rosalie asked, "Is it true he took an overdose of sleeping pills?" Apparently, and it's like, so that whole last episode at the table. Did they ever catch the muggers? Clearly, the wives are talking about bro. So obviously, Tony must have told somebody in the crew about it, and somehow they got to the wife and they got to the wives. So I just thought, and then she gonna do that disgusting wave. I was like, ugh, you are the worst. Get out of my restaurant. I'm not comping your meals no more. Even though he ain't got no choice, but dang, I would hate that. The way she did that.
She'll be hurt if he dropped the bill down. I'm like, if he dropped the check down on them, Carmela will be hurt.
Bro, nobody waves like that. She did the flickering bird wave. Nobody waves that way. That's not even the fake president wave. I don't know what that was. That was crazy. It's the bat wave, dude.
That's it. I know you talking about me if you waving to me like that.
Absolutely.
Wave. If I was already, I'm like, oh, I know y'all got my name in your mouth.
That's nasty. I mean, seriously, bro. Oh man. Tony, June, and Bobby. I think we see a generational difference here in this scene where what's funny to them is not funny to him, which is just a continued through line that we talk about at the end concept. But they do the drill and Bobby's taking charge. I know that's Spike's man. So what did you think about this scene?
this was good. This is a good setup to, again, what I keep alluding to is how we see Junior throughout the rest of the series. It's a good setup. It gives us the foundation of, like I said, is he joking or is this for real?
Yeah.
The expression acting. It's one of those things. If you're not looking at the screen, you think he's just practicing. But when you see his face when he says my name, you see that slight confusion. It was a great acting job. Like, just damn, this nigga for a quick second, like,
yeah, you don't know.
Junior, what's he on? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that is something, bro. I just have a hard. I have such a like. I don't really like watching things. I don't like to be unsettled watching things a lot of times. Like just left in the gray and never really getting some kind of understanding. I watched a movie one time not too long ago, and there was no explanation. Went on YouTube, see if somebody can explain. Nobody could. I was so mad I watched that movie. I hate that. Like, that bothers me so much. But however, Sopranos in this episode, even though there's so many unsettling things, it's unsettling, but it leaves you room to say you could choose what side. It's like a choose your own path type of concept with them. So you can choose he wasn't faking it or he was. Like, that's the beauty of this show. So
it also pointed out his pride. You've seen that multiple times throughout the series. It's about a certain way of doing things. He's talking about, man, I spent my whole life trying to live with dignity. And then y'all want me to be some fumbling, like drooling idiot. Great tie-in bringing up his brother, Eckley, that he told Tony about in the doctor's office at one time. And then obviously going into Svetlana, excuse me, at the door. And that's her and Janice's first interaction since the infamous leg scenario.
It's good to see Svetlana because, like, she tried to, like, Janice tried to act like, I put the grief behind me kind of. Then Svetlana just looked at her like,
hey, man, you a boring woman. Get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, I ain't even here for that.
She had that look when she smoked that cigarette with that. Oh, see now, now we ain't tripping when I say I can see it with the cousin. Y'all was laughing me out the room.
I had to get to it before you did, bro. I knew you was gonna go there.
See, look, man, these guys. Nah, man, he set me up. You set me up. Nah, but yeah, no, she definitely got it. But here, her doing that, like that smirk she did, it was just like, yeah, I know my goon smacked you up real nice, huh? Like that
got
I
you out here apologizing.
Yeah, got you out here apologizing, man. Yeah. So I really like that, that little just small interaction. But Tony had said that maybe the nurse would give him a sponge bath, but this nurse is definitely not the nurse that I would imagine Junior had in mind for a sponge bath. That's for sure.
I'm cool, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You mean Svetlana? No, not her. The one that's with her. Oh, no, we good. I got it.
I'm good. I got it right.
Yeah,
I got it like you said.
Yeah, I got it. I can take care of myself. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
good. Then we get. Oh, but then Janice starts crying. I didn't know what this was. She was just like, nobody cares.
She wanted them to believe that she was a new person. And she was mad.
Oh, she's still doing
Yeah, she was mad that the chick was still holding that over her head. Like, she thought that she was able to fool people into thinking that Janice is a new person. But that, like the Russian chick said, like, bitch, get out of my way. Like, you boring.
You call somebody
right
boring, like, that's nice. Fact. I like that. That's like basic in our here. We go to Ralph. He visits Father Phil. This scene was always interesting to me.
Were you there? When Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was. He's getting his Catholicism off and all of that. So I'm not gonna go deep into that bag of it, but I don't know. It just seemed like this. The way they did this, I don't want to ask you because I already know you. There's zero compassion, Lou. So I'm not worried about that. I know that ain't gonna be. But let me speak to my experience of like first watching this show when I first watched it. Like they caught me off guard. This whole episode, like they caught me off guard with where it goes because you just don't. You're on a ride and you don't see where it's going and you have no idea. You find like, yo, this nigga is about to finally. Somehow he's about to get the picture. Even if he goes back to him at some point, he's gonna make some kind of change. down the road before he still goes back, just like Tony, trying to make some changes, stay committed for a little bit before he went back to the Gumars. So it seems like it's going in that direction, but like the way it ends up playing out was like, dang, y'all are cold with the whole setup, because it's like no show would ever do this. Like, I just watched the show.
When you say no show would ever do this, what do you mean?
They did this thing where they pulled on our heartstrings, where it's like, dang, okay, this is what actually gets an emotional pull out of Ralph. Nothing else. Like Ralph nothing moves Ralph, but now it's his son, and he said, "It's my baby," and there's that childlike thing in him. So it just kind of, I feel like it brought out a lot of emotions that he had when we talk about the origin of Ralph growing up and stuff. So this is the first time you actually see him like thrown off, other than when we seen him in season 3, when he first was introduced at Tony's house, when he said he lost his mother last year. So it seems like they were going to go. So when I say that, most shows would have had this arc of, he tries to change, like Raquel from Power, but then finds herself back in the game. So most shows would have done something like that, but instead, what they did with Ralph was like, he's gonna make that turn, he's gonna make that change. And he's just shy, and that like, you don't see that, bro. Like, the way they did this was just like, whoa, it's amazing to me.
I really don't give a what to say on that, but I'll wait until a later scene.
I was just gonna say, I really don't give a fuck about Ralph or Father Phil. But what you guys said was great. And it shows that Ralph is mentally, because there's no other scenario in which he would be visiting Father Phil.
Right.
So, it's just another point. Yeah, whatever, man.
And it's tracks. It's tracks, because, I mean, people do this. Like, they they do the most awful thing, and then,
It's just so hard. Like, they did such a great job of making Ralph this unlikable character. Like, you really don't care. I have no sympathy for you, bro. I don't care. It should have been you.
You're right. But look at
his alligator tears.
That part. But like the genius thing of it too, where it's like they stretched out. No, for real.
Paulie
Paulie was on it. Nah, Paulie, did you forget all of the things with this guy? Like, dude, like
and he called moms. Like, nigga, I swear.
Yeah, but like, because they did such a brilliant job, because he kills Tracy in season 3, right? Okay. So they stretched out his story enough, not that you would forget, but that you would kind of be mad at him for that episode. In the following episode, we get Employee of the Month with Melfi, and we kind of transfer that energy into like, now we mad at the Employee of the Month, and then Ralph, you like whatever with him, and they kind of space him out a little bit. Then you kind of be like, all right, Ralph would do the most, but he's Ralph. He's that dude in the crew. So you kind of, I ain't gonna say you forget about Tracy, but you kind of be like, well, after Seal said what he said, she's not family or blood, then you're like, okay, and you kind of leave it there, like so when you get here, by the time you get to this point, it's crazy how you be like, oh yeah, he did do that. I don't know, it's just brilliant how they did it, like in this era that they did it in. But yeah, man, forget Father Phil, man. This nigga don't know what you're talking about.
Bruh, them niggas, bruh. All right, man. Never mind.
It's like I got
going, man.
I got heat for Father Phil for real. Like, but Tony and Carm.
All the fucking bad energy in that room, man. You can only imagine.
Fact.
Bro, he wanted a confession out of Ralph. It's hilarious. It's like
that blew the church up.
Boy. You had to kill him. If I tell you, I had to kill you. Like, that would have probably been.
Yeah, man. Nah, the spirits would have taken over all that shit, man. There's too much evil in the air, man.
Boy. Tony and Carm, they're having this breakfast moment, and it seems like they're in this space where they're really thinking about their son in a way, because of what happened to theirs. And it's a very interesting thing that I will speak to after I ask y'all. And they're saying that, it looks like he went to visit Father in Tantola, and he's trying to, turn the corner. And
scholarships, $20,000 scholarship fund in Jackie Jr. name.
That's nuts.
That's why I told him, man, Ralph, get the fuck out of here.
He called the hit on Jackie Jr. Like, what?
That's why Tony was like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, That's crazy.
Which is everybody's sentiment this episode, man.
Which is always funny because Tony ain't no better. Like that's why it always is like we always love to.
Who is he to judge?
That pretty much that part. Like Tony's no better. Like this is the same dude that like. Anyways, we ain't got time for Tony's resume, but I got my own problems. But AJ comes down, and the facial acting from James Gandolfini and Edie Falco, the late great James Gandolfini, was so on point. Because he's looking at AJ and he's having this moment where you could tell it's that appreciation that I'm glad it ain't my son. I'm glad it ain't my people. I'm glad it wasn't my brother. I'm glad it wasn't my uncle. I'm glad it wasn't. And they just nail it when they're doing the eye contact thing because they're saying that without saying it. And that's just amazing. Even though Tony goes too far as a dad, you appreciate that though. Like him, I think he goes a little too rough with it, but AJ's tough enough for it, low key, because he did take that punch last season and then just walk off. But what do y'all think about this whole breakfast interaction, this conversation?
It's a good reminder that don't take things for granted. Things that you see every day, the people that you talk to every day, the things that you just expect to happen when you wake up, even as simple as waking up. That's something where you get in the rhythm of it. You expect to do that the next day. That doesn't happen for everybody. Mm-hmm. And it's just a great way to show, this is my son. As much of a dipshit that he is, as much as I love to change about him, he's still my child. Like he's still healthy, still able to provide for him. I'm going to cherish this moment a little bit more. But like anything else, that's because this moment just happened. The same way I talked about Ralph and Rosalie, like all of this is coming out because I'm in the middle of it. But Tony, once this wears off, it's back to being good old Tony. So it was just a good time because that's how we are as humans. We always going to say, I'm going to appreciate this more every fucking December 26th, 31st, all that. Oh, New Year, about to do this, man. No, fuck you, nigga. You would have done that shit in June when it was on your mind. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? If you really gonna change your shit, why you gotta wait for a date? So it's just one of those things.
Shouts out to Robert Eiler too. Good acting right there from him. I gotta get it.
Yeah.
That he looks like an annoyed son. He did a good job there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this is the nastiest. This is so fucking disgusting. Like we really need to talk about how terrible. We need to talk about terrible Tony. Like this is the worst.
Yes. So what is it? Go ahead. Just describe it for us, because
this. All right. So what Ralph is. I know we talked all the episode about Ralph ain't shit, but there's still a little bit of tact, and a little bit of strategy that you want to show. At least a little bit of. I don't even want to say the word sympathy, but timing. My nigga, now is not the time to let him know that I'm hitting your old chick. Especially when he's giving you news about, you see he ain't himself. He's giving you news about his son. You hear Carm telling you all the shit that he's doing outside of his norm. Maybe in some weird way, I can see Tony's understanding, because I am one of them people, I'm not going to wait till your spirits get back up. Like, I'm going to tell you now, all the other bad shit has happened. It's added to the pile.
Might as well just add to the list.
Yeah, just might as well add it to the list. Like, so I get Tony on that, and we talked, we went at nauseum about the whole should Zellerman should he have told Tony and this, that, and the third. And I made the point, this is different because you see and talk to Ralph every day. Like, yes, you want to say something to him and let him know so you don't hear nothing. And I get it. Tony was like, I don't want you to hear this shit through the grapevine. It was just the worst timing. The nastiest timing to actually bring up that conversation. And even Ralph's face was just on some like, bruh, I can't believe this shit. And Ralph immediately got the wheels turning. Bringing up Carm, if things would have worked out for me, like you immediately, not just a little bit of time, he immediately, so that lets you know what type of time it is. He put the battery in Ralph's back for what Ralph may or may have not done.
I can't wait to see your beliefs.
Yeah, man. And tell you, he just got like my man Ralph. Not my man Ralph. Fuck Ralph.
That's your man.
Ralph was just on some like my little boy and started breaking down, crying. Tony had to get from the desk and go to the other side. Right after he's fucking that emotional and that vulnerable and bawling his eyes out, you feel it's a good time to tell him, hey, I'm fucking your girl, by the way.
Hey, I'm fucking your ex, man.
Just want you to know. Like, come on, bro.
We're getting filthy. Like,
Yeah, real nasty sex, real sex. Hey,
I'm
real sex,
not
the shit you doing, not the shit you be doing.
Yeah.
Because I heard about that too.
Yeah, I heard about that for $3,000. So, what say you, Spike? I can't wait to hear your because I can't wait your disgust.
I feel like it's valid with Tony's character, right? Like it's valid with the Tony that we know, in the sense of, let me try to skate out of this. I know I'm kind of in the wrong here, but it's so much other shit going on with you right now. Like as Rich was saying, let me go ahead and add this onto the pile too, so it won't be as impactful as it should be. Yeah, disgusting. It was a disgusting move by Tony to let him know through this way, man. I agree with Rich 100% on that.
Yeah, Tony really got it. He was really inspired by Zellman.
That girl you used to date.
He got his Zellman on, and then not only that, y'all didn't even catch. Neither one of y'all mentioned, but he was like, yeah, Pie on my, So he was talking about like the things that were going on with Pie on my, almost to the fact where he's kind of trying to check to be like, yeah, this still my horse, right?
Yeah.
So he doubled down on it, like I got his girl and his horse. I just want to make sure we understand this is my horse. Like it's our horse, but it's really mine. I just want to make sure we good and understand that. Which is even crazy. That is even crazy to me. Like mentioning Pie on my like that. Like I was like, oh, Tony, because he was on his. He almost got out of there. He brought up Pie on my. I'm like, yo.
And I didn't even bring this up from Ralph's perspective. Like if I'm Ralph, like bro, you sitting me down, like looking me eye to eye, like you about to say some real shit. You say, oh, I'm seeing that girl you used to date, bro. Like you ain't got no words, no sympathy for the shit I'm going through right now. I just told you a bunch of shit. I just cried. You just handed me a napkin, my nigga. Like I'm hot.
Baby.
Like
my baby.
Yeah, man. This nigga said, yeah, by the way, just want
Maybe
you to know I'm not
like Camilla.
I don't know, y'all. When we do our list of Tony's worst deeds, I don't know this. I don't know where this falls. It's probably is this top 10, top 20? It's probably.
It's just one of those. Yeah, because this is one of those things. Like if one of my boys hit me up, man, and we was just rapping. He was like, "Yeah, man, I just remember that girl I was telling you about, man. I finally told dude I was, and he told me it was these circumstances. I'm like, bro, you mad, bro? What the fuck is you on,
bro?
That's sick, bro. You might as well just kept it a secret.
Yeah, you might as well hold that.
You could have kept that to yourself.
Yeah, this could be up there like top 5, top 10 that are not murders of Tony. This is probably definitely up there. As far as like,
but it's so Spike said it best, man. So on brand.
Oh, it's on brand.
Oh, you said it best. I can't remember who's saying what. One of y'all niggas said
Spike
it best,
said that.
Man.
He said for Tony's character, it's on brand. Like we're starting to see these are little gems and nuggets of the trajectory of what I call, cold Tony, which we'll get to like the season 6. We start getting to that cold Tony, where it's like it's a totally. I'm not gonna say totally different Tony, but it's the Tony trajectory that was.
Maybe if I met a girl like Carmella. See, that's that bullshit. Stop playing.
Yeah, my life trajectory would have changed.
But that's the thing, bro.
What you mean by that?
I don't know. I mean, you know what? If he did meet a girl like Carmella, maybe she would have got the cheese grater.
But I know exactly what you're saying when you say that.
Yeah, don't even say that shit to me.
You wouldn't be saying that shit if I ain't just tell you I was knocking off your girl.
Bro, it don't even work because it's like, bro, I know that you bought him from the top. So it's like you're trying to get this like flex off with me. It's like, bro,
I know even that. It's just a respect thing. Like, bro, just keep my nigga Will Smith, man. Keep my wife name.
No, that part too. But if I'm Tony, I'm like, bro, you ain't even
thinking about having a girl like Carmella.
Bro, you ain't even like dog. Trust me, I took such pleasure when I. So we go to the next thing. Ralph leaves the Bing, and Ralph is embraced by everyone, or he embraces everyone. But there's a moment where it looked like his wheels are spinning, which I say so, like that little small walk moment or whatever.
Hell yeah. Like, nigga, what? Tony doing what? When did this start? When did this happen?
Okay.
Like, damn. And why the fuck did he feel now was the time to tell me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure all of that is on Ralph's mind.
Okay. Yeah. So he embraces everyone except for Paulie. And
fuck him and his alligator tears.
You forgot the 100 incidents with this guy. I don't care if he got 1,000 kids in a hospital at an ICU with arrows in their head. He's a piece of you know it, and I know it. You know, it's crazy because Paulie is never the voice for the viewer until this moment. He's really the voice for the viewer. I feel like this was David Chase speaking through that, where he knows that I want to write it. I won't try to put it this way, but it's almost like David Chase is using Paulie as his own voice. So it's like, Are y'all forgetting this man killed his pregnant Gumar? Like beat her to death? Are we forgetting this? You know, and I talked about. I
just love the fact.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just love the fact that Tony told Paulie like, kids in the hospital, a little fucking sympathy after you just got finished doing the shit you just did. Mm-hmm. A little sympathy, nigga. Come on, man.
Tony is crazy, bro. Like that's why I be like, people be wanting to give him so. People that watch it, they want it and be on Reddit threads. They want to give Tony so much more, and I'm like, nah, bro, he ain't no different. We just get to live with him more than anybody. Like people just want to give him so much more. I'm like, no, bro. Really, like we love Tony just because we get to live with him, so we get more complexity. But he ain't no better than nobody else on here. If this was the Silvio show, we would have seen more complexity. Or if this was the Christopher show, we would have seen more complexity. But it's Tony's. So it's just people just kill me when they be acting like, oh, Janice is the worst, Ralph was the worst, Paulie. Like, bro, Tony is the worst too. You just get to live with him more. So, yeah. But I like what I like what Paulie said here. You know, you should forget the incidents with this guy, and but this is where Tony gets in his face and says, "You can quote the rules. You know, then you can abide by them." Because he put the gun, he did the gun finger gesture like, "Yo." He was on some Christopher. If I find him, I'm doing him tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't asking you. I'm telling you, nigga. If I find any ounce of proof, like it's over.
Right. He's a corpse. Mm-hmm. He said he's a corpse. Calling somebody a corpse is some old school murderous rage, bro.
Yeah, you mean if somebody ever said like that, if I see him that nigga a corpse, I believe that shit.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
If you a citizen, you need to tip the authorities, man, because a murder will take place. That nigga meant that.
Whistleblower, quick, like, hey.
Look, yeah, shout out to Dro, man. Whistleblower.
Yeah, right. Quick. It's like you talk about turning somebody to a corpse or a shopping cart. You know what I mean? So Junior does the test, and we see the agent from season 1. Y'all remember this dude? No. I don't know. Grasso. I don't know. Grassi. He was in season 1 of The Sopranos. He was with Agent Harris, but they were checking Tony's house. And I think he had dropped something out of the fridge, and that was him. And he spoke in Italian, and Tony said something that really pissed him off. And he was from season 1. Nothing special, just somebody caught watching.
That's a good pull. Good pull.
It is.
But Junior bodied this, I think.
Yeah, he did exactly what he was supposed to do in this situation. And again, we don't know.
I have no idea if he meant to do it or not,
or if it was on purpose. Like that. This is the beautiful part of this character for the rest of the series.
Man. I love that, man. Tony gets a call about Pie on Mine.
Cheeks looking like height, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, I may have missed that.
To killing Gloria little cheeks.
Yeah, man.
Look at him. I would look every turn corner. Look. I love it. Yeah, who is this anyway? I guess it's just a new.
Nah, that's Valentina.
That's the chick. Yeah, that's raw. It's
I ain't about to go tell you I'm knocking your girl off while you're grieving and not knock off your girl.
Rough old lady, yeah.
That'd be even nastier. That'd be even nastier if you told her and then they ain't even hitting her. Like, come on.
I see what y'all was talking about now. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you said, Spike.
Yeah.
I see. I see your $1
right there.
Yeah, okay. All right,
man, get the fuck out of my ear with that. I'm late. Why you ain't wake me? I was laid out too, man. What the fuck you want me to do?
Bruh.
You should have set an alarm. I forgot this before, like smartphones and shit. You can't just look at your phone and set an alarm. You either got to know or make sure you stay up.
You got to know how to
hotel
operate
alarm.
Yeah, you got to know how to operate that clock and hope it really works. But yeah, Tony visits the stables, and they drag Pie on Mine away. What a sad ending for Pie on Mine. And Tony had to see, he had to see Pie on Mine all burnt up. Tony will bring up later, but I can talk about it here, and we'll get more into did he or didn't he. But Tony brings up, well, I guess that's a part of that too, so I'll leave it there. But they show the goat again here, which ties in that theme that I talked about earlier. So if you know, I'm not going to do much more there with that unless the fellas want to go in that route. I don't know where they found this goat to look at the camera though. It was like spot on. I give him that. And we get Tony visits Ralph. And here we are. Tony comes in. And Tony he's saying,
wait. Before you go there,
uh-huh.
As the stable person was explaining it to Tony, did y'all suspect foul play?
It's so hard because I didn't know if she had any stake in it all. She almost seemed like she was over it. So I couldn't quite read. Like she almost felt like, I'm just glad this is over with. I hate that happened, but I'm just glad to be out of this. I don't know. That's how I kind of read it, but I gotta watch the scene.
I don't think if I go back to my first watch, I did it. I didn't suspect foul play. I think it was just something. It was odd because this episode, to Mo's point earlier, I remember watching this the first time and just really like, damn, what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? What's really going on? So everything could have went. I just had a real hard time figuring out where the story was going. And obviously, once we get to this scene, I wasn't expecting that to happen. So it all kind of made sense pretty quickly. But the fact that we always talked about Tony playing chess, Tony put that shit together right. Like, I'm going straight to Ralph's. Going straight, because this shit don't make sense. I'm coming to get some answers.
Yo. So he comes over, Ralph crib, and he's like, hey, the stable's burned down. He's like, oh, my own, Jesus. He's like, and the other 3 horses too. And so, Ralph was like, hey, I'm sorry to hear that's tragic. Tony keeps going on though. Bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm probably alone in this. We haven't got to the fight, but like just building up to it. If I'm Ralph, I would be very annoyed. Ralph, I think he had a very right. It was just like, all right, bro, I'm sorry that's happened. Oh, man, I'm sorry that's crazy, man. You can only say that's crazy so many times. Like, oh, wow, man, I'm shocked. When somebody's trying to share their troubles with you and you're like, dang, bro, that's rough. You try to talk with them, they keep going back to it again and again. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, all right. But Tony just kept going there. And then on top of it, he's pulling the ghost, talking to his wife, telling his wife about the love of my life. You're talking to me and my son is in the hospital. I definitely think Ralph had the proper gripe at this moment where he's like, bro, you want some eggs? And then his secret ingredient is what, cottage cheese and sour cream?
Sour cream. Not no cottage cheese.
Sour cream, okay. Yeah, he's on
make
something.
The eggs creamy. You don't put milk in your eggs?
I don't. But I don't do scrambled eggs like that. I do over medium, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But my wife does milk in her eggs.
Yeah, you put milk or sour cream in your eggs and makes them like fluffy, creamier.
I might have to try that because I don't really like the egg smell. That's why I'm cooking that way. So I might have to do that. The milk, I think, stifles that smell. You might be right, bro.
It will. It will. Pour some sour cream and just mix it up real good.
You done it with sour cream?
Yes.
Oh wow, I'm a sour cream dude. I definitely I'm throw them joints in the egg. But dude, does Ralph have a point to be like kind of like, bro? All right, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm still processing what you just told me about the apple of my eye, my ex.
Yeah, this is one of the few times I'm like, well, I agree with Ralph as you were explaining, Mo. Like, bro, my kid's in the hospital. You pulling up to my crib talking about a horse, bro, and we getting money from it as well.
Yeah,
hey, bro, get the fuck out of get out of my house, bro. Like, I don't even want to talk to you right now.
Yeah.
Hey, like, you coming over here like dumping this sad ass shit on me because you love animals. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit, bro. I was paying whatever it may be in veterinarian bills and storage fees for this horse. Yeah, nigga, it's a relief for me. As far as this horse being gone, and we got money from it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Not just money, 200,000.
All right,
man, come on, man. What are we saying? And you just keep coming. Y'all know, man. Y'all know me, man. Say it all the time, man. Say what you mean the first time, bro. Every other sentence, you got a new detail about the horse, bro. What are you really asking me?
Yes.
Like, come out and say it, bro. Like, I'm not about to. I have my son on my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm making you eggs.
Fuck that horse, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm making you eggs. Like, damn, I don't even want to think about it. He just keeps going and going. And, you see that moment where Tony Ralph stops. He's like, damn, what's going on?
They said it was an accident, right?
That's
what we
okay.
talking about?
So that is one of those things. Because I'm trying to put pieces together. Did he? Didn't he? Right. So when he said it was, they said it was an accident, right? That is where
did he do it or did
he
not?
did it in my head. At that point,
really.
So the screen.
I was never really convinced that he did it.
Oh yes. Okay. Let's have that conversation before we obviously deal with the murder or whatever. Let's have a conversation. So you wasn't convinced he did, Rich?
I was just about to say real quick. This is actually on the commentary. The screenwriters or the episode writers said they wrote the script in the way that Ralph was guilty. Joey Pants performed the script in the way that Ralph was innocent. So they intentionally, he read the script like, I know it's meant for this, but I'm going to play it like I'm innocent. To leave the viewers with this question.
That was really good. Then. As I watched this a couple times over, I'm like, I don't know that he didn't do it. Like,
listen, when I did the watch for this, I looked and I said, you know what? I honestly think just a chance of luck. Like, we got out good. It's just the history of Ralph and knowing how he think and how conniving he is. That's what makes you, and that's a credit to the show.
Right.
That's what makes you believe, oh, Ralph did this shit. Tony just got finished telling him, I fucked your girl. I'm about to fuck your girl too now. Like, this is my version of that.
Mm-hmm.
About to burn your horse.
Okay. I got you. His horse.
See, I took it as if he did it, it was because of what he was explaining to Tony about the medical bills.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, to me, that's where us as viewers get to see Tony connecting the dots in his head. Like, okay, I'm a piece of shit just like Ralph is. Had this been me, I would have did it. Like, I would have did this to get that money to make sure that I paid them hospital bills. And then that's how I come to the conclusion that he did it, because I would have did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I walked away with it with.
I've always thought that I always thought he didn't do it. And the reason I thought that, because I said, how poetic would it be? This is the one time Ralph doesn't do it. It's too obvious that he would do it. Like, it's right up his alley. It would be, because the thing about it is, we always have, up until this point, we're like, oh, Tony's, he's a piece of dirt, but we always look at him in some weird way he's justified. But this could be that first time where it's like, nah, this is the unjustified Tony. But we'll say, oh, you did this to her. And of course they'll say, well, he's saying about Tracy, not Pyomai. Like, we will see that take or whatever. But to me, I've always thought, I think that this is the one time Ralph didn't do it, because we start seeing him trying to do these good deeds, but obviously that all of that was before the conversation at the Bing. So I hate to say it, but like, I think it steps on our point with that information Rich revealed, that like they wrote it that he did it. So Ralph did do it, I guess. But I think it's more interesting that this is the one time he didn't do it and he get killed for it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because I don't know. Well, when I say the writers wrote him guilty, I don't know if they. I don't know how planned it was for. Hey, we wrote it this way, acted a different way. I don't know how much liberty Joey Pants did. I guess it was just for that reason, and the reason why we're discussing it, because they do a really good job of it. I can see Ralph and the way his brain works having that plan in place. Because you always got to have an exit. The good guys, the smart ones have an exit. The ones who are playing chess have an exit. They see the worst case scenario. Already pointed it out about Tony. Worst case scenario, what can I get from this? Ralph did the same thing. At the worst, we can start a fire, a fake fire, and we can collect on the insurance money. You know what I mean? That's just how this is going to work. And Tony keeps going on and on. And he mentioned, this is another great thing that the show did. They mentioned Corky. I think Corky Iannucci is how you pronounce his last name. Y'all remember him?
The arson.
Yep.
Oh,
from the pilot.
Got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way they tie everything together, and Ralphie wasn't even on our radar on the pilot episode. So yeah, man, it's not out of Ralph's possibility, but I genuinely don't think he had the time or even the energy to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have hired somebody, man. This is tricky. This is harder than if Livia was really with it or not.
Yeah, this is definitely harder than that for sure. Like and Joey Pants playing innocent, it could be like what Joey Pants always played Ralph like he believes himself when he's having these vulnerable moments. Like he believes it. He always plays that well for Ralph. Always did play that well with Ralph. But I'm gonna say he didn't do it. I think it makes this more interesting because we're at the halfway point really of Sopranos, or at least I feel like where it starts to really change. Tony, as far as the whole landscape of his trajectory. So I'm gonna say right here in this moment, I'm gonna say that Ralph didn't do it. Because I guess even if he did do it, it's like his son is in a hospital and it's a horse. Tony still broke the code regardless. You can't put your hands on a made guy and let alone murder a made guy and your own capo over a horse. It's not blood and it's not family. You know, it's like he told with Tracy. Like when he got mad about Tracy, like, bro, you can't do that. When Seal told him that. So either way, it don't really matter, I guess, because Tony was still out of pocket. You can't touch him.
Yeah.
So
Tony was definitely in the wrong in this situation. Even if Ralph did it or not.
Yeah.
If he did it or not, it don't matter in the sense of how we interpret it. He was still in the wrong in this situation.
Yeah. And I guess the biggest reason why that led me to think that he didn't do it is when Tony said, like, Jesus Christ, you did it. You cooked that horse alive. And Ralph said, no, I did not. But so what? I feel like he would have owned up to it at some point. He would have got tired of Tony stepping to him like that. Yeah, but I really believe that for some reason when he said that, it seemed believable. Like, I did not. But you know what? I also don't give a fuck. Fuck that horse.
Yeah, because I'm at the top of my frustration level of you asking me about this horse and my son. That when he said that to me, that is one of those, like, it's just a classic back in the day when you got siblings or family or cousins, when you're telling them, they keep saying, no, you lying. And you get to your top level frustration. I'm telling you, I did not. Like, I was like, bro, I was like, nah, I don't believe it. Like, because he's not going that far. Like, Ralphie don't lose his cool to that degree, even in a scenario like this, as manipulative as he is. So when he said that, that's what brought me back, because they said it was an accident, right? That made me think he did it. But then when he got to that, no, I did not, that's when I said, okay, I don't think he did it. So
that nigga, don't give me that.
Right. Go ahead, I was going to say one of the great things about that situation is we've seen Ralph Lotto, like, flat out lie about Jenny Sack and telling the weight joke. Like, we've seen him and Tony have these type of conversations where he flat out lying and Tony know he lying. I'm like, bro, I was there. Like, what are you talking about? How you saying you didn't do that? So I think it was beautifully written in the sense of adding that doubt to it. Like, we can be as sure as we want to or unsure as we want to, but the way that they laid the groundwork to get to this point was amazing.
Don't give me that look. It was a fucking horse.
Bro.
Nigga said, what are you, a vegetarian?
Bro,
you
like,
beef and sausage by the fucking carload. Tony stole on that nigga.
Yeah, bro. Cause like, don't act like you all Mr. Peace. Oh, you know, Mr. Mild.
Why you in my house playing with me, bro?
Yeah, like, don't come over. Because you can see Ralph's frustration. He was like, toast. He's like, yeah. He's got that look like when he was mixing the eggs. He's like, all right, nigga.
I will take some eggs.
Yeah, it's like, and that's another thing too. Sopranos, like, people talk about it. The Soprano guy on Instagram, he talks about it on his podcast. But like, eggs is a symbolization of, like, when eggs come into the picture for whatever reason, like, death is around the corner, kind of like a Godfather.
Really?
Orange juice, yeah. So when eggs are offered or things like that, when you see eggs, it speaks to, like, somebody's going to die. But I'm not going to get into that.
Interesting.
But if y'all want to check out a deeper dive of it, go check out the podcast with Pope. He's really good over there. He was early on our podcast, and he really shouted us out early. So, but go check him out. And y'all send some stuff of his all the time in our little group chat. But they finally get to scrapping. Tony and Ralph is going back and forth. The eggs are still cooking. He throws the eggs on him, grabs the pan, swings it around on him. Tony's ducking, and then Tony gets a hold of him, steals on him, and Ralph was about to finish this. He got the knife and everything.
Nice,
great choreography here. Great choreography. Goodness gracious, the late great James Gandolfini. Like,
speak greatly to the physical presence, Tony.
Yeah, and I think,
man, you ain't gonna play with me in here, little dude.
Yeah, but I think Ralph held his own for a dude of his stature. Like, I thought he gave a decent fight for Tony. Like, you know, and Ralph is not a scrapper. Like, I feel like if this was Tony and man, what's season 2? Richie. If this was Tony and Richie, who knows how that would have went?
No, man. Richie
who
got
knows
moxie.
how to? Yeah, like that would have been an interesting fight right there. Because I'm like, Richie seemed like, bro, I got a hard on for you right now. We can do this in your mama house, in a Italian sense, whatever. But yeah, he finally gets the best of him. He starts slamming his head on the ground. He says, and then after he knows he choked him out, he stole on him 2 more times. I'm like, golly, that's hate punches. Like, I mean, goodness gracious.
Question.
Yes.
Ralphie being such a impactful character, did it bother you as a viewer that he went out this way? Like, did you expect a grander ending for him? Like, I know the first time watching this, when I seen it, I'm like, come on, like, really? This how Ralphie is out of the show?
How did you? What would you?
What you got?
How would you have liked it ideally at that time?
I just thought there would have been a much more grand of a departure by him. I didn't think that it would be a fist fight between him and Tony. Like, I never suspected that, which is why it was good too. But I never suspected it being like, this how he died? Same thing with Richie too, though.
Right.
I would have never expected Janice to be the one for that to happen to him too. So I guess it's on brand, but I'm wondering, is it like, did they go back to that well one too many times, or was it like, okay, I can see that to y'all?
Nah, it was even during the first watch. It was like watching the Patriots this year, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when, but at some point, Bill up out of there. That's how I felt about Ralphie. Like, Ralph up out of here. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen. There's just no way a character like this can coexist for this long. And here we are. But it was shocking. It was shocking during the first watch. Like, damn, this is it. Because at some point, you have to think, if you Tony, how far am I going to take? Like, is there any chance that you catch your wits and be like, hold on, whoa. We tussling, we doing this shit. Let me chill. Let me be the person that backs up and realize, I might have violated by hitting you, but I can't kill you. I don't know if I don't know if Ralphie grabbing that knife kind of changed Tony's perspective. Because even when Tony punched him, man, that was off emotion. Just because he said you eat sausage and beef by the carloads, like, bro, it's not a good enough reason to punch a capo.
Right.
I know you got a whole lot of built up frustration against him, but I don't know, man. Because once you do it, man, you can't undo that.
Yeah. Now we're here. And I think that was part of the reason why he went on and killed him. Because there is no coming back from this. I got to look over my shoulder from here on out if I let him live, because I did something I wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, you can't handle Benny Blanco situation.
And he just told him, if you could quote the rules. He just told Paulie this. Crazy.
I know this against the rules.
Yeah, when I first watched it, I was so thrown off because I they had me like probably like most viewers in the 90s or going to early 2000s. They had me because I was like, dang, y'all gonna do this now? His son in the hospital now? But then, towards the end of the episode where we get the Tracy picture, it all comes back like, oh, you niggas forgot how terrible this man was. Like, just like Paulie said, I think David Chase was speaking through Paulie, was like, did y'all forget all of the issues with this guy? And some of us did, low key. I'm
sorry, Mo, I don't mean to cut you off. I just thought of this. I will say this. The one thing I'll say, it would have been, I would have loved to see Ralphie and with some of the characters that we meet in season 5. Because one of them niggas would have murked Ralph. One of them niggas would have murked Ralph. They would have bodied Ralph.
I can't wait to get there. Yeah.
So that would have been, you asked Spike the question earlier about how would you have liked to seen it. That might have been a more fitting exit for Ralph if one of those newer characters say, I don't give a fuck what's been going on, nigga. I'm not putting up with none of your bullshit, and get them up out of here. That's the only thing that I say.
And I will say this too, as the rest in peace, Ralph Cifaretto. But what's amazing about the Sopranos writers, Soprano creator David Chase, is that Ralph, I didn't realize how much I liked Ralph until he was gone.
Yep.
As far as the storyline, I'm like, bro,
really good point.
Remember I talked about that season 3 when he first cast out. There go Ralph. I said, bro, he shakes things up to the show. So when he died, I was like, he's terrible. He's a trash character, but like, I'm like, bro, he really moves the needle on the entertainment value when you talk about the Sopranos legacy. So I did not, I'm not gonna say I did not think they could go back and do it, but the fact that these niggas came back with a Phil Leotardo, I'm like, you niggas is the GOAT. Cause I'm like, there's no way. You had Richie. We loved Richie. And he was funny in his own way. Then you get Ralphie. He's even wilder. But then you get Phil. I don't know how you know what I mean?
I can't wait till we get there.
Boy, so it's just amazing. But yeah, so that's the end of the Ralph story. And even then, like, it won't be cinematic concept. We kill him in the middle of the episode. They think that it's more important how things are played after than actually waiting to the end.
Right. It wasn't even an ending. Like, damn, cliffhanger, what's going to happen next episode? It was like in the middle. We're going to handle all this right now.
Right now. And it ain't even a penultimate episode. Like, it ain't even that.
Right. We're like, in the middle of the season.
Like Ralph was introduced.
This is one of the most important characters in the series at this point. And it's like, oh, in the middle of the season, we're going to kill him.
Yeah.
And it's random as fuck because him and Tony got in a fight.
In the middle of his son is fighting for his life in the hospital.
Like, that's how good the show is.
Like, I know people was like,
nobody expected that.
That work conversation back then had to be crazy. Like, did you watch The Sopranos this Sunday, bro? Did you see that? I mean,
see what happened to Ralph? Yeah.
I got I ain't gonna say a hot take, but I say a warm take, but I'll get there. So Tony calls Chris. You know, Chris is high.
Beautiful job. Not making that a focus of any of the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
However, showing you that it is a problem. Like for the last couple of episodes, we may get a minute or 2 of Chrissy screen time, but every time we get the screen time with him, he getting high, which is what leads to something, you know, further in this season. And it was great how they did it. Like it wasn't A or B, should even C storyline.
Yeah,
it was like buried deep down, and now again on another episode we get something that plays to it.
Yeah. Chris pulls up. He walks in, looks at Tony, then he looks over. And like got that look on his face. Tony has the worst lie in the world. I found him like this,
bro.
That's
who are you to question me, man?
As fucked up as you look, I found him like this stuff. I love Chris when he walked in. Whoa, I was not expecting to walk into this.
Chris just seen this dude at the Bing. He's like, poor freaking guy. You know what I mean? Like, and then I come back, this nigga dead, and I just seen this dude at the Bing hugging him because his son is in the hospital.
I'm looking at your shirt, and I know something went on,
bro. Your face.
Me, I just walked in
your
like
eyes,
this, bro.
your face, yeah.
So I want to say this, and y'all let me know.
It's probably a good thing that he was high.
Absolutely.
Which I think is very interesting how things play out at the end. Again, with the confusing things, but I want to say this because this whole thing becomes, I almost feel like this becomes a whole nother episode. This is a warm take for me, but I'm gonna jump out there. This feels like Breaking Bad. This whole when they start doing this, the bowling ball, the chopping up the head, the whole bathtub thing. I said, nigga, this feel like Breaking Bad. Like even how they were shooting it, like kind of with that plainness, like it's certain things about it. I was like, bro, I said, I don't know how much they I mean, they watched Sopranos, obviously the creators, but like this moment to me, this half of the episode, it felt so much like Breaking Bad. Like I'm gonna make a clip with the Breaking Bad music. It felt so much like that, but it was like, this is an interesting thing. How
it's a good pull.
I see exactly. As soon as you said it, I pictured it in my mind because there's a lot of constant manual labor in Breaking Bad.
We've seen Walter and Jesse in this situation a couple of times.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a good
cigarette smoking. You know what I mean?
I still can't. And the fact that like one of them has a habit.
Even how Jesse would question Walter and some shit.
Yeah,
and as Rich was
and the way
one of them having a habit, yeah,
and the way Walter would be on Jesse ass.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. What Tony would say, damn, if you junkie, like if you wasn't no skag, you would have noticed this, that, and the third. Like, so damn, Mo, that's a hell of a pool,
bro.
And I know we say it all the time, but I just can't. I gotta highlight it every single time. Michael Imperioli,
man.
The fact that this is acting and he is not high, my goodness, he's in. He
done laid
because he look high as hell.
Man, you just forget that. Like, you're so engulfed. Like, this world is so suffocating when you're in it that it's like you forget. Like, and then we get the famous line. He's like, I thought I told you not to mess with that stuff anymore. I didn't. I don't know how, if that was written like that or that was improv. Like, that was like but man, that I didn't, bro.
I did it.
I did it. Like, nobody says it like that. Like, oh man, bro. But yeah, but look, he's here. Like, and let me tell you, this is the worst day of getting high. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're around the boss. You're lucky this is your uncle, for real. That's the only reason you get this, because I would be.
You might have been right in that tub with Ralph.
For real, because I can't. This is the thing. You get high and you're hoping. Don't ask me to do anything major. And you get that call where it's like, dang, ain't got nobody to call. They need me, and I gotta be there. And I'm really not in the state of mind to do what I need to do right now. It's the worst call you get right now.
Yeah, he was
Tony.
as fuck.
Yeah, Tony Loki liked this shit though.
Why?
Really? He can hold this because he's good. Because he hold this shit. He can hold this over Chris Head.
Yeah. Now you can't say shit.
You can't say shit now. Like, even if you wanted to say shit, you can't. Because
if you had came in here on your P's and Q's, it would have been a different situation.
Tony,
since you like this, I can still judge you versus you judging me. That's a really good point. That's a really good point, Rich.
Exactly. Now he saw the situation. There's no reason why anybody wouldn't be the ones to judge me. Oh, I can flip it on you that quick. Now I'm Chad, nigga. I did this, and that just shows Tony, man, just the audacity, man. Like, I did the fuck shit, but I'm blaming you. I'm talking about you and your shit. That shit crazy.
And he working himself into explaining it the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm so self-conscious about being high.
Yeah.
I ain't even really worried about a capo being killed, and you did it and you weren't supposed to. I'm trying to explain to you, oh, I don't get high like this all the time. I was just a little like, bro, relax.
Bro, Christopher's a different kind of dude. They put him in a tub, bro. And of course, you know that he pulled the wig off. Now, I didn't know. I definitely didn't know. When I first watched it, I was like, oh man. Like, damn, but like,
hilarious. That's just a little jab at Ralph, man. Just to remind you, don't take this guy serious. Don't mourn this guy's death. Like, we gonna give you a last little humor moment and pull this nigga wig off, man.
Funny how? Like, this is funny. But like
Tony saying, of course I knew.
Of course you're right. Like, I
told, hey, my fault, man. Spike, I hit on Mo earlier. I said I got a meme idea for you. You gotta put that Cat Williams clip when he talking about Steve Harvey's a man unit. That was a man unit to show that nigga pull that shit off. That's a good one.
I low key, I think I'm gonna do the video version. I think I'm gonna throw like a little quick like. But like the fact that Chris is just like literally put his arm on the legs of the tub, chop, like no problem. I mean, which we know Chris is known. This is a callback to you think you're the only one that can swing a meat cleaver. Like, when he was talking to Artie, like, bro, don't get it twisted. Like, you don't want to mess with a chef. Yeah, all right. And so it's just amazing to me. Like, and I don't know. Chris and Furio, I think they chopped up a body at Satrial's at one point already. So I guess he's unfazed. But I guess being high don't hurt at this moment for sure. Like, chopping up.
And that's what he do though. Like,
this works.
We got a lot of previous scenes and things that like make us know that Chris not gonna be spooked out by this. Oh, this is the job for the day. Okay, cool. Let's run it.
Yeah, and so they sit down, they start watching film, and Tony starts to build this alibi. He tells he tells Chris, like, hey, in a moment, move my car and pull your car up. He's trying to build this whole thing up. Smart. I don't know what this film is they're watching. I don't know if y'all caught that or not. I don't know if it's significant, but
I know it came out in the 50s. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Okay.
I did have it written down in my notes somewhere, but you can keep going.
Okay.
I think it's really one of the best things that I take away from these scenes when they're doing this is every episode, this isn't something that we do or deal with or watch as viewers. However, when it does happen, how normal it is to them.
Yeah.
Like this is our life. This is what we do. Like, ain't nobody freaking out. Ain't nobody like, oh, I can't believe this happened. It's like, okay, we gangsters, bro. Like this is what we do. And I think David Chase and the writers of this show did a very good job of, we don't have to hone in on this, but when it happens, we're gonna make them look like professionals at it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a really good job at it.
Yeah, because then you just kind of,
like, these are real gangsters.
These are real gangsters. Yeah, like yeah. You just need this one time to see to imagine.
Yeah, like we do this.
Like they showed his head chopped off.
I've done this several times before. Yeah. I know to cut the head and the hands and the feet off so they can't identify the body. Mm-hmm. I know to do that separate from the main body, throw the body in the river and go take the head somewhere else. Like it was a great representation. Even how Chris is cleaning the tub.
Yeah.
Like it's fire as far as like, okay, these niggas, they
the details. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
100%. 100%.
The stairs, like, so go ahead.
The last time I saw Paris.
That's the movie. No, you're good. I was
1954.
1954. So this is where the moment we get into the skit, like right when they're chopping or they're putting the body parts separate, like when we see Tony walking up the stairs getting the bowling balls, that was the moment it felt like Breaking Bad. That's where, to me, it started that feel. I was like, man, this feels, because now it's like we're locked into longer gated camera scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not jumping back and forth to anybody's story no more. And that's like, feels like Breaking Bad, where they really focus in, and we're just with Walt and Jesse. So I'm not gonna harp too heavy on that, but y'all that if y'all haven't watched it in a while, but you're just listening to us, y'all watch this episode again and check out like the second half of it. Y'all tell me if y'all think different, but I'm telling you, it's spot on when you talk about that tone and that vibe. But yeah, they chopping up the body parts, and they're like Spike said, they're moving it, getting it prepared. Chris is still smoking a cigarette with gloves and blood and everything. Like this nigga's crazy. But you know, they're cleaning up.
Right now, high down.
That's and the fact he is bringing the high down, because by the time we get to that later conversation at the Bing, you can tell the high is down, because now he starts to, you know, actually offer legitimate questions like, how are other people going to feel? And then he has to go back into, you know what? It don't even matter, Tone. Whatever you say, you know. Yeah. So, but we'll get there. Yeah, they separate the body parts. So they drop the body in the ocean, and then they go to the Palmisi farm. The call back to, you know, Mikey Palmisi.
Good question.
Yeah.
Do y'all think it was strange that Chris was the person that he trusted to do this, or does it know?
I don't think so.
Like he could have called Seal. He could have called Paulie.
Nah, because
you can't call them to.
Tony was aware enough to know, like, he's got to have a better story. He can't get that story off on Seal or Paulie or anybody like that. Maybe Paulie. Now, I will say that because Paulie got a legitimate beef.
Do you think that he thought they would have made a move against him if he called them, and that's why he called Chris, because you know Chris not gonna make a move against him?
It at least would have been on his head, like on his mind. You can't. This is you can't come back for this.
Family, it's blood. It's a blood thing. Like he said at the end, like, nigga, only you the only person that know.
Well, yeah, you can't come back from this. From the mob perspective, you can't come back from this if I kill him. I know y'all didn't watch Sons of Anarchy, but Jax is in a similar situation.
I actually just started watching it. I'm on episode 2.
Nice. So one of the biggest things for them, man, that's really in like no excuses, no questions asked. Like, killing another member is, you know what time it is for you. Like, it's over for you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing with this. So it's, yeah, man, he had to call Chris.
Well, I mean, because Paulie got on him for punching him. He said, hey, look, I get it. I understand, Tone. But again, you know, the blood, the family thing with Tracy, you know, and so Seal is going to be the one to go hard on the rules. So you ain't going to get that off with Seal. No, it ain't no way you're going to get that off. Like that, when you kill another made guy, I still ain't going to make a move on him. He's a hard rule enforcer. Like that's Silvio. Now
we see this.
Paulie, he talks too much. So Paulie is going to end up somehow spewing out that information, like that cocksucker. You know, we ended up, you know, let's just say let bygones be bygones. Like he some kind of way would have shared that info. So he talked too much and Seal's too much of a rule enforcer. Chris, he's still making his bones. He's getting some advantages. Like,
and it's my nephew.
And it's my nephew. And if I gotta pick somebody, it's gotta be him. He may still do something that's off, but I gotta pick him because anybody else, there's just no way. No way. No Bobbies, 100%. No nobody. Like there's nobody else that was even closely qualified that within this thing of theirs.
I was just gonna say real quick, what we see that next episode, Mo. What you said about Seal, there's a moment with him, Patsy, and Albert. Not Albert, but what's Albert's nephew's name? I can't remember. Either way, they have Vesuvios, and there's a little moment where they have a brief conversation.
Oh, yeah. In
the very next episode. And Seal, we're off the record. Seal says we're off the record here. Because I want to know what y'all thinking, because we know how this looks. So, yeah.
You're right. They
also,
quick.
Real quick fun fact about that scene when they dumping the body and stuff, like throwing it over the thing. So, in between takes, James Gandolfini and Michael Imperioli they finished like a bottle of whiskey. And they was drunk as shit. So they had to chain their feet together so they wouldn't like fall over to the cliff. You can't see it in the scene. You can't see it in the scene because of the way they shot it. But they had chains on their feet to make sure they didn't fall over because they was that fucked up. They were visibly inebriated.
Wow.
You can still kind of tell with Tony on the machine right there. Like you look lit.
That's so dope. It's just so dope. That's it.
The way he's smoking that cigar and the way Chris smoking that cigarette, those are lit nights. That's
definitely lit night.
Yeah,
that's the lit night.
That's one of them nights. Yeah.
So you're saying everything was this all shot in the same night too, or you saying
I don't know if all that. I just know specifically that scene. They would have let it ride, but it's like, damn, we got a scene where y'all niggas got to throw some shit over a cliff. We don't want y'all niggas so drunk stumbling over. And y'all gone. Like, so they had to take measures and stuff like that to make sure that they were they wouldn't fall over. So they chained their feet together, something like that.
Wow, I wonder how many takes they did where they kept stumbling. Like,
no. They chained them. They changed their leg to a tree.
Oh, so they wouldn't get too far regardless.
Yep. That's what it was. Almost like a leash.
Oh, that's smart.
And they put dirt and leaves over that so you couldn't see them on camera. But it was just for y'all own safety because y'all niggas lit. Y'all wasn't supposed to get lit.
Man, that's crazy. I don't even remember that story. You might make me have to go back to talking Sopranos, see if they get into that. But so they go to the Palmisi farm and we find out that Artie has 3 invisible kids. And this is the moment as a capo I would never want to happen, to be called on a day like this to be high, which I spoke about before. And like now it's like you're burying the head. And I mean, it's cold outside. And I don't know about y'all, but this felt like a Grand Theft Auto mission. Like this part of it, for some reason, it's like you got to like bury a body or something. You got to stay quiet. And you got that meter of people hearing you. You got to try to be quiet where for my video game fans out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. But I thought this was cool. Tony steps into the thing because Chris couldn't get it together. And Tony tells like when I was young, I got to, fool around with it, and that's how I know how to do it. But Tony really looked like a boss right here with the cigar, doing all that. Anything I want to add to this farm scene?
Nah. Interesting that it comes back up later on.
These are moments too where the relationship, it really would build tight. You never thought it would be what it's going to be later. You know what I mean? Like, because these are the moments like we both know we are flawed, like we trash in our own regard, you know what I mean? But we are tight together. And so these are things that you build bonds on. We blood.
Like, do with blood.
Because he know now
he's some slaw. You know I'm some slaw, but we blood.
And I love that. That's
what we got.
When we get away from not having that access of like we're blood, it's a really hard world to live in.
Yep.
So but yeah, so that's it. Tony scoops it. They drop the head in the dirt, and that's pretty much it. They go to the bada bing. Smart move. Tony got keys, of course. They get there and they have a drink. And at this point, it looks like Christopher's starting to sober up. And Chris is thinking about some things, and then he brings it up. He says, here's the problem about, let me see, I'm checking the exact quote. He said, people could take it the wrong way. And Tony just tells him, like, nobody knows this but you. And I think Chris is looking at it like, yeah, nobody knows this but me. In a way where it's a flip on the line where it's like, that means I know who you really are. And so I'm not even safe. which I think echoes when the morning time comes. But I mean, we're getting close to that point. But y'all think Chris makes a good point here?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm just a heroin smoking, shooting up junkie in Tony's eyes right now. So that valid point that I bring up doesn't even matter. And I'm able, like you said, Tony, I'm able to judge you and be like, bro, you high. I don't give a fuck nothing about what you talking about. I don't care how much sense it make. Fuck off. Here's what happens. Yeah.
And another Suns reference, which I can't really get into it, but either way, if something like this happens and you know you're responsible, you have to show some form of investigation or, you know, get your lick back in some manner to make everybody else around you feel better. Because it's going to look weird as hell if your best earner just comes up missing and nothing else is heard of it. Nobody knows where he at. Nobody know who did it. Nobody know the reason, the motivation. You ain't trying to find out. You ain't trying to. So that means we all in the spot. If your best earner go out like that means all of us on edge. And that's the worst way to run a company or run a business.
Yeah, millions of dollars are at stake. Let's keep that in mind. Like, you know what I mean? You killed Ralphie for less than what Johnny wanted to kill him for. Let's keep that in perspective. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
But yeah, so Chris goes back and said, you know what? We were right to disappear him. You're right. You know, and that's pretty much that. We see that feds are watching Junior follows the act, gets out, walks across the street, asks for ice cream. You know, he does the whole act and walks back.
Is this real?
No, I think this is
it's not clear.
It's still not clear. Like,
I think it's real.
It seems
you think like,
he's
like, for real?
I thought he was for real.
I think if it goes in and out, where I think when he walked, he knew what he was doing, but then when he got there, it's like it that's when it slipped away. As far as, wait, what am I doing again? It's like when somebody snapped, I was like, no, I know what I was doing.
Brilliant setup, bro.
Man, why do y'all do this to us? Why do y'all do this?
It's a brilliant setup, man.
I know, man, and that's your type of bag. I know you don't like nothing predictable, so I know that's your bag for sure.
I love it, absolutely.
We get to our last scene, man. Tony wakes up. Chris is missing.
He went home, nigga.
Yeah, but
about to go home and get high.
Nigga.
He's going to get high.
I've been tweaking it all day, nigga. I'm trying to get back to the bag.
But still, it's very interesting to me. Like, after that last conversation they had, Tony sees the picture, or he's looking in the mirror, he sees a picture of Tracy, and that's supposed to get us to be in our heartstrings. Like, oh, he defended her honor. He finally killed her for what he did. No, bro. You out of line. You're weak. And Tony walks out into the light in the morning. Here we are. That is the end of the episode. Anything I want to add to that last sequence of Tony waking up looking for Christopher?
Nah. Y'all took anything from Christopher leaving?
I think it's something there. I do. I really do, bro. I just don't know I don't know exactly what to label it as, but it's something there that Chris is not there. He's so high, you would think he was late meeting Tony. He was late getting back to him on a phone call. But however, he outbeats Tony to get up in the morning and lead a beam. I'm not saying it ain't fiend behavior, but I still feel like there's supposed to be something else there. And I think this is the beginning of I don't want to spoil anything for the future episodes, but this is something that is where their future relationship dynamic changes, and this is like the first seed song, I feel like.
That's fair.
You think so? Like this is kind of where it's like, I'm looking at my own. Like, we're made guys. You can't let them do that. Like, when you start having these disagreements, you know. But yeah, and that's it. What do y'all think about the Tracy thing, or him walking out to the light? Any symbolism y'all think, or?
Another reminder, as they've shown us throughout the show, that Ralph wasn't shit. Like, don't mourn this guy, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, fuck about Ralph. Like, I don't give a fuck if his head got cut off and arms got shot. Like, it doesn't matter. No matter.
Yeah, for such an important character, as you highlighted earlier, for such an important character, man, you really don't have any kind of emotional tie to him dying. Like, there's no moment when you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I think Ralph is the last. I feel like I ain't gonna say that, but like Ralph is I would say that. As far as villains go, he's the last of the fun, like the fun villains. I feel like, you know what I mean. Before
That's
we
a
start
fact.
getting
Ralph
a
is
little
the
more.
last, like,
Yeah,
I enjoy this person on the screen. Like,
uh-huh.
there's a different feeling with Phil.
Yeah,
or what we move into
Tony
post
B.
Ralph, post Richie. Yeah, like the Ralph is the last. Like,
Yeah,
I'm putting my mark on this series.
yeah.
I agree with that.
So I'm gonna miss Ralph, man. I always say that every time I watch it. I'm like, man, I was so happy we got here. I'm happy he gets killed, of course, and it's in the world of the Sopranos. But you're gonna miss the entertainment quality.
You wouldn't have liked to see Ralph around for a longer time?
I mean, yeah, I guess I would, but I'm glad
Same thing
that
with Richie, right? Like you would have liked to see them. That's what made their deaths so impactful, because like it's like, damn.
Yeah, you're
like,
right though.
Janice did this, or like this happened during a fist fight. Like I was expecting some shit to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a great job in like how abruptly that they did that to us.
It would have been nice to have an internal war within
like something like that when he trying
like the
to kill
glorified
Tony.
crew, what's
but
going on.
That would have been. I feel like that would have been too cliche.
Yeah, and it would have broke up. It would have broke up.
What makes it so great?
Yeah, you're right. Like they didn't want to do anything cliche. So I don't know. Well, rest in peace, Ralph, man. I got my own problems. Yeah. But Spike, I think we're gonna go trips on this probably. How do you rank this episode? For those that are new, that are just tuning in and subscribing, because we're getting new subscribers every day, our ranking system. Just Another Envelope, it was a cool episode. Good earner means it was a really good episode. Made is an untouchable episode. Like this is up there. It's fire. How do you rank this episode, Spike Lou?
No suspense here. Made episode. Made episode, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Rich.
Yeah, it won't be cinematic. It's made.
Yeah.
It's a made guy for me as well. You cannot. It's without a doubt. If you don't say this is made, my idea of you will just plummet. Seriously, Spike.
It's one of the more memorable episodes in this series, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like this is
caught you off guard.
And then
every classic series has an episode like this. They have their reigns of Castamere. You know, just has that one where you watching it like, I did not expect shit to fly off like that.
Yeah. Red Weddings.
Yeah, that's the Reigns of Castamere is the name of that episode. The Red Wedding. So yeah,
niggas on the throne, Mo.
Yeah, man.
No. Black King's Landing. I told y'all that's what it'll be.
I like that too, but it's gonna be called AKA Niggas on the Throne.
Now it'll be y'all niggas on the throne, because I'm not to be a part of any show called Niggas on the Throne. If y'all want us to do a Game of Thrones podcast, but y'all just keep flooding us with it. Maybe it'll become a thing.
Either that one or The Wire seem like it's screaming for Knicks.
I know. I'm nothing on The Wire though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Keep going. Hey, we'll keep going with the topics, man.
All right,
before you piss me off.
All right, good. Spike Lou. Who gets the
wires?
Yeah, I'm cool. Who gets the good earner chain for this episode?
Good earner chain for this episode, man. I got to give it to Chris.
Oh,
fighting
Look
through.
At him. Y'all niggas the same. That's the reaction he got. Look at him.
He fighting through being high. He still came through. Even still offering suggestions to Tony. Like, nah, this makes sense, bro. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. What I'm telling you makes sense right now. So I got to give it to Chris, bro.
I'm salty, bro. I'm salty.
He beat you to the punch, huh?
Yeah, he beat me to it, because I'm like, I'm sitting here. This shit is getting outrageous, because I'm really sitting here thinking like, there's no way nobody's gonna say Chris, because obviously you see Chris, he high and shit.
Yeah, right.
First thing this nigga say Chris. That's my answer. Chris came up. He got some dirt on Tony.
Yeah.
Helped him out with a big move. Like I say, he slid a little bit early, see what's going on. Like the fact that I was high, came out alive. That's good earner enough.
Hey, man.
I could have been in that tub with Ralph if it was anybody else.
Straight up.
I could go Junior to switch it up, you know what I mean, for the court case. But I'm feeling the teamwork play. We Chicago Bulls right now in the 90s. So I gotta go Chris too, man. Like Chris, he got the job done, bro. He was chopping limbs, everything. Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot of work. I don't care what day it is when you're high on H. Chopping limbs, chopping heads, blood everywhere, smoking your cigs. Like,
wow.
Yeah, nah, I gotta go. I'm feeling trips on that, so we're going all Christopher on that. Now this might be where it switch up. Who gets the broken balls, or maybe not? Who gets the broken balls award for you, Spike Lee?
I'll go for the low hanging fruit. It's Ralphie.
Ralphie,
He
yeah.
died in this episode. His son got shot with an arrow. Yeah, like it's definitely Ralphie in the sense of most of lose.
What say you, Rich?
The answer is Ralph. I'm going with Pie on my. Yeah, the real answer is Ralph, but Pie on my, man, really innocent bystander in all of this. Beautiful creature.
Yeah.
You know, we get a proper good, you know, glad that Carmela got to see her before she made her exit, but
yeah, right. We did get that, yeah. I'm going Justin Cifaretto. Even if he does recover, he'll find out the news, and it won't be good news. And lastly, Spike Lee, what is your favorite moment from this episode, man?
I'm not gonna go against the grain. I'm picking it's all chalk for me this episode. It's Tony and Ralph, the fight.
Tony and Ralph fight. Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just it's easier to not outthink yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And what you're saying the same thing, Tony and Ralph fight?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you just don't have to outthink yourself. It's just that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tony and Chris bond. Like I like that. I found that a little more interesting, a little more fun. I like that whole from all the way from the crib, watching TV, eating peanut butter, all the way to like throwing the body off, and then even getting that information Rich revealed. All of that to me was like, I love that part. Like it's just a cool moment, even though it's got crazy ramifications coming the next day. So let me put that here real quick. Tony and Chris work.
Yeah, man. That's a I mean, I'm not mad at it at all. As good as this episode was, like next episode probably has my favorite Sopranos scene. And it answers a lot of questions that you would expect. Like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Now you get to see the after effects and the whole family. Like, hold on, man. Like Ralph gone. Fuck you mean Ralph gone?
Yeah, man. And that is our episode, man. We thank y'all for tuning in to Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos. Thank you for all of the feedback, man. Just like the person that left us an Apple podcast review, man, y'all hit us up over there. And if y'all didn't know, y'all on Spotify, a lot of times I leave stuff for y'all to vote on. The last vote, I haven't checked it out, but I asked, who did y'all like better, Valentina or Gloria? So I'm interested to see what the polls say about that. But y'all can we are involved in a lot of other podcasts. Y'all can check out in our description. It's all in there. Y'all can see it on YouTube as well as Apple, Spotify, like I spoke about. DM us, GoodEarnerPod _Sopranos. Just if you want to talk about the love for the show, some theories, whatever you want, reach us there. Also, we have an email, GoodEarnerPod @gmail.com. So we're very, you can reach us, man. We talk to y'all. We like to get the people going and have these conversations. We're gonna have some changes.
Love the
coming
feedback.
Up. Love the feedback. Like people are having
absolutely
look at us like just moulions.
But we have fun with it. So if you listen to the show, like we appreciate you, understanding the layers of how we do things. And I'm glad y'all getting good laughter out of the show. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in. And remember, don't forget about it.